You guys can make fun of me and make all the videos you want about me. I don't care. Say what you want. Put all the videos out there that you want, because frankly, I don't care what you think. So go ahead, all you trolls. Make videos about this. Go and make all the videos you want. If you want to make videos about me, I just don't care anymore. I really don't care. I don't care if people re-upload this video. You can make fun of me all you want. It doesn't bother me.
Let me first play this disclaimer so you guys can see it. This way it's up for the public record. Disclaimer. Nothing in this presentation was obtained illegally. Everything you are about to see has been researched using public domains such as Facebook, YouTube, Google, and/or other forms of social media platforms. No family images, home addresses, and/or any direct information shall not be used unless it has already been publicly displayed on either Facebook, YouTube, Google, and/or public social media outlets.
Testing. Hey everybody. So it's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. I don't know about you, but it's a beautiful summer day. And well, there I am. Hi everybody. So yeah, the sun's still up. It's been a picture perfect past couple of days up here in Manlius, New York. Beautiful weather. Hope everyone had a good 4th of July. I hope none of you recorded fireworks with your phone and then shared it on social media. I mean, it's such a trope. Who the fuck does that? Who do you think is sitting down watching a video of fireworks? It's like watching a Windows 3.11 screensaver. No one's watching that. Just take a couple pictures. Maybe tell people that you were at the so-and-so parade. But don't take pictures of the. Oh, my beard's doing something weird. What's going on there? But my beard was doing a weird blue screen thing. Anyway, yeah, don't record yourself with fireworks. It's dumb. No one's watching it. But you feel obligated to just watch it with your eyes. It's not going to translate well into the phone. I know the fancy phone has a firework feature. I remember I had a camera had a firework feature. And again, I'm thinking, who's taking pictures of fireworks? It's the dumbest thing ever. You know what's cool when they have like 1,000 drones with lights on them, and they like make 3D pictures in the sky. That's like an updated, it's the first time fireworks have been updated in 4 million years. And like we have that now. Like watch that, record that. But enough with the, the purple thing. No one's watching your dumb video. Anyway, that being said, I hope everyone had a good 4th of July. It's been beautiful up here. We've been doing stereotypical fun beach stuff. I have my kid with me. He's on the trampoline right now. I'm looking outside. And so he may come in and harass me for something, but that's fine. And yeah, so I'll do the link to join, exclamation. There we do, put that in, boom. Pin that up top. Okay, so that's up. We got that going, right? Yes, I see the pin, it's up. And yeah, so we skipped a week, lots to catch up on. Maga Man, he got a week-long timeout. Then he came back and he swore revenge on YouTube. And we'll get into it later on, but if you read my description, so Walter, like about a month ago, he just started like what do you call it, scorching the earth. He went after anyone who made fun of him. He was like copyright strike, privacy, copyright strike. He's attacking everybody. He got some guys' channels taken down. He got some videos taken down. He pissed off a bunch of people. In case you guys don't know, if you get 3 copyright strikes within 90 days, it's 3 strikes, you're out. So Wally did that to a couple of the guys. They got 3 strikes. And he did it to me. I get a notification whenever someone tries to go after you for copyright. You get a notification. And Maga Man has tried to take down every single one of my dog piles and most of my videos, and I get a notification that says, someone tried to take down your video, but we told them to go fuck off because it's fair use, and, carry on. It's like, you can take down the video if you want. It's like, no, I'm not going to take down my video. But anyway, Walter's done that he did that like a month ago. So now, the tables have turned. And Walter got a couple of copyright strikes on him. One actually was, Wally admits all this because he's a dummy. He's got two strikes in the hole. And one was from Newsmax, the guy who's always talking about cancel culture and everything else. He used like Newsmax footage, and Newsmax just like shut him down. So I thought that was funny because Newsmax is like a right wing leaning like news source, and even they were like cancel culture on Wally. So that was funny. And the other thing is Wally used a clip. He used the audio from two of my videos where I call his landlord. And he just used it verbatim, and I'm like, oh, let me try to copyright strike. And sure enough, it stuck, and his video went away. So he made a video like swearing revenge, and he's like, oh, you're gonna pay for your crimes. He still thinks I committed crimes. Oh, my phone fell off the thing. My phone by someone's trying to call. Oh, my wife's trying to call me. Dames, you know. Anyway, yeah, Newsmax. Sorry. So yeah, actually, Hebrew Spaceman, he said that he got the video taken down. But like Hebrew, when you go to the link of that video, it says it was taken down by Newsmax. So I don't know. Like it might have been you. We'll talk about it later on. Hebrew actually, initially we thought he did it because again, everyone's going after Wally's channel. And Wally keeps on that person is breaking the law. That person's it's like we're doing exactly what he's doing. But when we do it, we're breaking the law, and the police need to be, and judges and lawyers need to get involved. He does it in spades. It's fine. So anyway, there's Slippery. Good. Slippery's coming in soon. Yeah, good, because this is the part of the show where I ramble on. I got Mac. What's going on? Everything was quiet in the house, and suddenly 8 o'clock comes. It's showtime. The wife's calling. I got my dog. My dog's he's very quiet. He just comes up to you and he touches your arm with his whiskers, and he's just like, I'm here. And sorry, Mac. I know what Mac. Usually this time of night, we've been going to the park because it's again it's beautiful weather. The sun's up to like 9 o'clock, so we go this time and we see deer and stuff because the park is quiet and all the animals come out. But my kid is here and I'm dogpiling, so no, Max, sorry, he's looking very sad. If he could talk, he could probably talk me into pausing Dogpile Wednesday and go and walk him. But sorry, buddy, you can't talk, and nor can you understand me. Do you know that I'm going to outlive you by a long time? Yeah. You probably have about 3 years tops. See, it's a good thing dogs don't understand you because then it would be pretty cruel. Anyway, Hebrew says no, it was me. Anyway, we'll discuss it later on. I'll try to Hebrew. I'll try to dig up what I was looking at. I think I found a link to the channel. Oh, you know what I found? I didn't even know about this, but there's a page you could go and you could see the history of things that you flagged in YouTube. I didn't even know about it until Babu brought it to my attention. And in that, it'll list all the flags that you've ever made and why, and if the video's up or not. But one of the things that was kind of annoying is if the video's removed, it just says video. You flagged video, but it doesn't have the title, so you don't know exactly which one is up or down. But in that somewhere, I clicked on a link, and it brought me to Wally's the Newsmax one, and the Newsmax one said, this has been taken down by Newsmax. So anyway, look, we'll figure it all out, Hebrew. No need to fight. Everyone's trying to take credit. Wally's going after people who take down his channel, and we're all like, no, I did it. No, I did it. Anyway, I know for a fact I took down one of his videos. So hooray for me. Normally I wouldn't, I feel like a shit because I'm turning into cancel culture Wally. But again, he did it to me in spades. He came in, I think I counted, it was like 15 videos of mine that he's like, take it down. And now he makes a video saying I'm concealing my crimes, which made me laugh because, again, he's stealing content that's on my channel. It's on my channel. I'm not hiding anything. It's there. And the two videos that he stole, the videos are very uncreatively named I Call Maga Man's Landlord, and the other one is called I Call Maga Man's Landlord Again. So if I'm trying to hide crimes, I'm doing a really piss poor job of it. Anyway, the other thing is, Wally has mentioned 473 times this week. that he has a secret guest over. He can't tell you his identity, everybody. But it's Kevin Smith. It's not. That's the guy used to be on Facebook. His name was Kevin Smith. But then Wally doxed him. So I don't know if maybe you're watching Kevin Smith and Wally. Maybe I imagine you're huddled on the couch together, because Maga Man Wally's like, wait till you see what the trolls, they talk all about me. So Keith, Kevin, I think your name's Keith. I'm not sure. I forgot. I used to remember Kevin, Wally's guest. But Wally has totally doxed you. He made. I remember years ago. He said he was on Facebook and he said, oh, there's Kevin Smith in the chat. That's my good friend Kevin Smith. Well, actually, his real name's not Kevin Smith. He just uses that name to be anonymous. So Walter did that. And then shortly after, he goes, oh, you should see this video about my good friend Kevin Smith, whose name isn't Kevin Smith. And then he linked a YouTube video. And in the video, the guy was actually a 9/11 guy. He was down at Ground Zero. I forget. I don't think he was a first responder, but he was like in construction or something. And it was a documentary, and this guy was in it. And they introduced the guy. So Wally's like, watch this documentary of my anonymous friend Kevin Smith. And in the documentary, they say his name. So well done, Wally. Doxing friends left and right. I hope you're watching Kevin Keith. I think your name's Keith. I don't know. But Wally's mentioned that his secret friend Keith is up. But he won't reveal his identity, even though he's already said his identity. Also, we think he may be Blaster Man in one of the MAGA army. There's a Blaster Man, and we think that's him. Again, because Blaster Man pops up in the chat. And Big Mouth Maga Man is just like, that's my friend who's a 9/11 guy. And like he describes Kevin Smith, a.k.a. Keith, the guy. And also, Keith, if you're watching... Before you tune out, not only did Wally dox you, but he also told everyone that you're suffering from cancer. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to make fun of you that badly, because that sucks, and you probably got it from being down at Ground Zero. But yeah, your big pal Maga Man, he told everyone that you have cancer. So maybe you want to talk to him and tell him to maybe stop sharing your personal information with the world. But I know right now Wally's going, how did Dan know that? He must be following you around, Kevin Keith. He must maybe there's a private. It's like, no, Wally said this on his dumb channel, and I pay attention, remember things. So that's kind of what happened. So yeah, I think Savage Cock is right. And the other thing I think is funny is the guy. This happened last year. The guy came up last year this time, and he said, Wally's like, oh, he's thinking of moving down here. And I would love to talk to the guy, because I bet he's probably like maybe I'll move down south because it's cheaper to live here. But I don't want to be near Maga Man, because Maga Man is just a needy fuck of a person. Like he's gonna have some kind of panic attack. And the last time Kevin Keith was down to visit Walter, Wally was doing the same shit. He was on YouTube all day long, and he was going after the trolls. And I imagine Kevin Keith is like, hey, like, I'm in Charlotte. Let's go do things. Let's go, you talk about this, and let's go to the racetrack, and let's go to this park. And Walter's like, I cannot. I must. The trolls. I must defend my honor, and he has to make a video. And he's doing the same thing. Kevin, like, it's been a whole year, and the guy's visiting Maga Man again, and Maga Man's just like, I must make a video. I cannot. The trolls, they are going to jail. So I imagine this guy Keith Kevin is like, I don't know if I want to. Like, Maga Man's okay for like an hour or two, but like living near him, like he's gonna have Kevin Keith. He's gonna have a crisis at 3 a.m, and it's going to involve crying about YouTube something or other, and you're going to have to come and save him. So, Kevin Keith, my advice to you, because again, nothing personal. You seem like an okay guy. I don't know much about you. The only thing I don't like about you is you're friends with this moron. But, like, whatever, it's a process. But don't live near, like move down here, but move like an hour away. So if he calls you up, you'd be like, it's kind of far away. I don't know if I can make it. Anyway, I see HS in the background. Here you go, and boom, we're live.
What up?
What's going on, man?
Nothing. Just
how's it
long
going?
day at work. I
saw you cammed up. I'm like, does he know he's cammed up? Surely
yeah.
He knows.
No, I got
sometimes...
one of my ugly kids is locked in his room playing online poker, and the other one is in Europe with his grandparents, because he's allowed to leave the state and the country, unlike Wally.
Oh, do you think he's not allowed to leave?
Well, no, I think Wally's allowed to leave. Although the New York thing, we speculate on this before. I don't know if there's a warrant out for his arrest or whatever, but he's clearly in violation of something, right?
That would explain why he wants New York to just plunge into a post-apocalyptic nightmare realm, because then like no one would be that warrant would have been disintegrated in the atomic blast.
Exactly right. All the records of his.
It makes sense. It's like resetting everything, you
right.
know.
No, I think he physically can leave, right? So, there's two aspects. One, I don't think legally he can probably come back to New York without risking violating a restraining order, or they probably have an outstanding warrant for court summonses and stuff like that.
Yeah. I see Slippery in the back here.
The other thing is, hey, Slippery,
what's going on, man?
The other thing is, Wally can't afford shit.
We don't hear you. The mic's off. You got to click something.
Now there you was muted. Nope.
Tech problems. Call your kids. Yeah, I was looking for a specific video of Walter's along like an old one, and I stumbled upon a this old video where like he must have just got back from family court and he lost, and he made a video. He's like I'm being harassed by the family courts. I keep on getting like mail and they're harassing me. Like his definition of harassment is the courts are like, you need to go to court, and he's like, stop harassing me. Like, who's he going to complain to about that harassment? like the court? Like it's like the courts don't harass you. They're looking for you. They're summoning you. That's not a harassment. But he's like, they keep harassing me.
His brain is broken. We know that. Yeah, but he would rip shit up. This is before, again, when I first, and I think we all did collectively, stumbled across his channel, his Maga Man channel.
You hear me now?
Yes, we have audio, folks. He did it.
Some IT guy said, I don't know, I saw it in the internet somewhere. He said 99% of the time when you reboot stuff, it works. Oh, I think it was you, Dan.
yeah. Don't tell a lot of people that, because then we'll be out of a job.
I'm good. Happy July 4th. Did you guys see my video of fireworks and stuff like that? I posted that all over social media. Dan, did you see my video?
Mickey, I think Mickey is he's a troll of True Sherm.
Oh,
we're all inclusive here. We let everybody in. Like and subscribe, Mickey. And I hope you patch things up with True Sherm, whatever's going on.
Yeah, I don't even know what that's all about. But I always wait until HS comes in, and then I come in because I don't want to come in. Like I always feel that like Dan is doing his own monologue thing, and I don't want to ruin it. And it's good. I like watching it.
No, I'm just like killing time. I hope these guys show up. I can't keep doing this for.
There's just so much to talk about. I mean, we all can agree that Wally is the hero of the stupid, right? He's just unbelievable.
That's an insult to the stupid.
Yeah.
But this friend thing, I'm listening to Dan talk about the friend.
Every video, he's like, "Well, my friend's up."
But I can't talk about him. I was hoping somebody would get to that because 90 times a minute.
I made a list of things because every time we do one of these, there's like so many things. I said, "Oh, I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about that," and I think one of Dan's fans actually wrote, "Oh, like you guys, Dan should go back to the old way of doing videos because he gets it right in there, short and concise." So, we're trying to help Dan and tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, I am working on a video, but yeah, that many people have written in, and when I say many people, I mean one person said I should do the old videos.
We have to be,
and now it's all in my head.
Well, we have to be like Wally, because if one person says one thing to Wally, he says, I heard from you guys, and I heard texts, and I got emails, and I got phone calls.
Oh, sure.
And it's actually one guy, so that's Wally.
But the dog piles are just easier, and we get to like socialize. The videos are a pain in the fucking ass. But I am working on one. Wally had so much material lately that I'm like, I got to do something with this guy.
Like if I knew CIA people or undercover people, and they could plant cameras in Wally's house, I would love to see how this interaction is going.
Maga Man's going. He wants to bug my house. He admitted it. You heard him, police. He says he wants to put cameras in my house. Privacy, police.
The first minute the friend walked in, Maga Man opened his closet and took out his pop guns and his pepper balls and laid them out on the bed. Have you seen this one? And I had the 3D printed D10s put in this one, and I got this, and these are all my BBs and my pellets. And did you see my 4 shirts and my 9 hats? And that's got to take the first day, right? Just to show him his toys and his little things that he has nobody in 3D to show him.
The play date, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What I was in love with, like, it's like tell
What's going on,
typical
Hank?
Wally. Hey Hank, he mentions
Texas,
like he's
Texas
gonna have
representing
his
again.
friend visiting him, right? And he may not be able to upload too much over the coming
Oh,
week. And the guy has made like 90 videos, and in every video, it's like, I have a friend staying here, but I can't tell you who it is.
Oh, there's
Right?
his leg. There's his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I actually
reading
have
our
the
news feeds as if now the two of them are reviewing their news feed.
Yeah, they're sitting on
Like,
opposite
Yeah.
sides of the Bradley unit, and
I have
did
I have
you
the
see-
video that I successfully took down that I wanted to play since I'm allowed to play it since it was a privacy. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the one that I think Slippery took down because he marked it as privacy because it has our faces on it. I marked it for privacy and I think he did too, and like it went away. We both
I had one.
because our faces are on it and our names are in a title, and that's like a no-no, so it got yanked. But I have it, and I'm allowed to play it because it's me.
Wally actually did one way back with me, with like he grabbed
Yes.
my Facebook.
I have
And
that
it was
one.
at the time when everybody
Oh,
was.
I remember that. Yeah. I
with,
remember that.
Everybody was wearing masks and shit. So of course, my picture that he put up, but he broadcast my name. He said
Yeah,
what I do. He said where I live,
Yeah.
and I was wearing a mask. And I tried to tag that for privacy, and YouTube actually kept it up. I was like, the guy is putting out my personal information, and they're like, well.
I think the rule is like Wally gets a notification and it says you got 48 hours to like blur out whatever section it is. Like maybe there's a picture,
Right.
you could blur it out, and if you don't, we may take it down. So sometimes it goes because he did something to me and I ignored it. I think he said, "Oh, I'm using schematics of his house." It makes it sound like I went to his house in the middle of the night with graph paper and like wrote down a map. It's like I used a floor plan from the building complex that he's in.
Well, you
and
couldn't
I
go in
left
the
it
middle
and
of
it
the night
stayed up
because
like
he's up
nothing
all
happened.
night. You'd have to go at like 1 in the afternoon because Wally's up at like I'm up at 4:30. So this morning I fucking 10 minutes. I'm like the third person to view his video. The first one is him, and the second one is Keith, whatever his name is. And I'm the third guy at 4:10 in the morning who's watching one of his latest videos.
Yeah, I used to remember his name. I think it was Kevin Smith and then Keith something, but I don't remember.
Kevin Smith was his Facebook name. I think his real name is Keith, and I'm not doxing the motherfucker because
Yeah.
that's what
First
Wally
name.
put out. I don't know this
Yeah,
guy.
right. I mean, all of this stuff. Like, I never. Dan said he was Dan King from the beginning. He's never made any bones about it. I never put out my name. I never put out my address. I never put out, any of my family members. Nothing. He said my wife's name. He said he was talking about my daughter. He
Right.
did Google things over my house,
Right,
where I
right.
work. Everything about me he put out there. So now I'm going back on his videos. And I'm just writing YouTube, and I'm saying, hey, he puts my name in the titles. I never put my name out there. And I'm saying to YouTube, hey, you know what? This could put, my family or myself at risk. I'll do a
Well,
Wally.
you mocked his video, so that means that he's allowed to
Yes,
murder
yeah,
you and your
yeah.
family and everything else. So like that, it gives him a free pass.
Did you guys listen?
What's going on, buddy? My kid is here.
Did you guys listen to the bodega rant?
Oh, please.
Yes.
But as a guy from New York, you guys are all New York guys.
Yeah.
It goes over his
Okay.
head.
See it.
He's like talks like the ugly American, like visiting abroad that just doesn't get it.
Well,
A
it's like a
bodega,
shtick. It's like an act.
yeah. I don't know if he's doing an act or whatever, but like he talks about mom and pop shops, and then he says, "Oh, I went
It is a
shopping at
bodega.
Walmart." Yeah, that's what a
It is
bodega
mom
is,
and
but
pop shop,
it's
dumbass.
a bodega is not just, it's a convenience store with a cultural appeal to it. It's like a neighborhood happening. It's a meeting center. It's like a barber shop. And he doesn't get that. And he doesn't even explain it properly. It's like a whole thing. It's a whole cultural thing. And it's a whole,
Well,
it's uniquely New York. And,
Yeah.
and he just doesn't want to.
the article was like the guy. It was like a fish out of water. The guy was he's from Michigan and he came to New York and he's trying to find a supermarket on his phone and it keeps taking him to these little bodegas and he's like, what the fuck? It's like culture shock.
He lost his
Yeah.
job, actually, which I do think is a little bit much. But
That's what I was saying to Slippery on the side. But it turns out if you read the article, he's a big TikTok guy and he got a job in Manhattan, but he posted like something like, I guess he got an acceptance letter, but the letter said, do not post this, it's confidential, and he showed it on his channel.
Okay.
So they said we fired him because of that. They probably fired him because there's too much negative publicity,
Right.
and they're like, it's not even worth hiring this dude. But the argument was like, does this guy deserve to lose his job or whatever? But Maga Man is just like, no, he's right. Bodegas suck. Let me tell you why.
Yeah, right,
and he
right,
misses
right.
the whole
They go
point
with-
of it.
Yeah, it went
cream
right,
cheese. Yeah, no, I get
right
it.
over his head. Right
Yeah,
over his head. The
like he
whole-
missed the whole point, the
he
larger
missed the
point
whole
of
point.
it.
It's like
You know
some
why? Because he's making the videos for us, right?
yeah,
He's
yeah,
making them
yeah,
for
yeah,
us.
yeah.
If he had doubled down on the whole "I'm MAGA" and this guy is being canceled, and he just stuck with that,
Yeah.
he'd actually, I wouldn't agree with him either, but he'd have some legitimacy. But then he spins it on how bodega food is shitty and they're dirty. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, dude, nobody else cares but us.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? For a guy that detests bodegas so much, he surely knew a lot about bodegas, right? So he must have been in there. If it was so detestable, why did he go in there more than once?
Well,
right?
'cause
So
he's
he's
from
full of
Maybe
it.
right?
maybe that's
Yeah.
where he spent all his money buying lotto tickets.
Yeah.
Ramen noodles.
Yeah. Or,
Not
Hey.
have
A lot
ramen
of
for
stuff,
dinner.
Well, as Wally says, Raymond.
Yeah,
'cause he
ramen
can't
noodles.
pronounce
So
Which
it-
is like, dude, you grew up in Queens. You should know how to pronounce ramen. It's like, come on, you idiot.
yeah. What's wrong with him? I mean,
Well,
yeah,
what isn't wrong with him?
yeah, I know. That's such a rhetorical
All right, so
question.
here's the infamous video that got taken down for privacy. But I can play because I'm the one in it and Kevin's the one in it. Let's see.
That being said, thank you everyone, and once again, please have a happy and safe 4th of July. And make sure you're making real
this one got
hamburgers
pulled.
too, not that tree bark insect
Oh,
shit
what do you know?
like they're trying to
Yeah,
make
this one's
us
gone.
eat. You guys know that already.
Oh, I reported
With
that
being
one.
said,
I reported that one.
Seems
Yeah.
that Dan Edward King of the Disney Star Wars 501st Legion
Disney
costuming
Star Wars.
group, yeah,
Dan looks
we
like a
see how
fucking
great
maniac.
Star Wars is with children these days. You know, it's no wonder people like him love being part of these costume groups. They just love kids. Maybe a little too much, and the evidence speaks for itself. And then you have
I'm a
Kevin
pedo,
Colbert
guys.
of Calvert in
Uh-oh.
New York, who is an obsessed cyber stalker, who
Cyber
called my
stalking.
best friend, calling himself Lucian Stevenson, which I have the audio recorded.
I love
just
that
like when
story.
Dan King called my leasing office, not once, but twice, and sent me threatening emails. And now, looking at this thumbnail,
Didn't
they're
happen.
actively trying to conceal their sins. They're trying to conceal their crimes.
Okay, so like, there's a lot to talk about right there. There's a lot to unpack. So one, he's saying I'm a grown man that likes Star Wars, therefore pedophile. All right, that's like what he's getting at.
Well,
And-
everybody now likes to use children as dildos, according to Wally.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
on
was
the
gonna-
left now wants to fondle children. Like,
I'm probably spoiling it, but in the video I was working on, I was just gonna like go into how he's a creep. Like he's saying, first of all, he was in the same group that I was in. So what does that say about him? And
Well,
second of all, like all the other creepy kid stuff that he does when he was doing that thing in the waiting room with that
Oh,
kid.
that was,
Yeah, like, dude, don't say that. Like, and also, he's not allowed. He's not allowed access to his kids. Like what happened there?
at the end of it all, there's no legitimacy because anytime he talks about anybody else's kids, don't teach them this and don't touch them
Yeah,
that. You can't see your
Father
own
of the
children,
year.
you asshole.
but he talks. He's the one that left. He left the state. He left
course.
the state where his kids reside. He abandoned them.
But we
Yes.
were talking about this at the very beginning. I said, him coming back to New York, I don't think he could come back for two reasons. I mean, he could physically, right? But I think there's, excuse me, two things from stopping him. One, I think there's got to be some sort of outstanding court thing because he would tear up letters and refuse to answer summonses and shit from the court. I will bet you there's like a bench warrant or something.
Yeah,
For
I'm sure.
unpaid
Yeah.
support. I'm not sure what, or a violation of restraining order. But the other part, and the more practical part, is this fucking asshole like puts $200 BB guns on layaway, right? He couldn't afford the gas or the tolls to come to New York.
Well, he's getting the big cash award is coming in because
Yeah,
he watched
okay.
the guy at 3:00 in the morning on the infomercial.
Do
It's
you
all
have
good.
sarcoidosis? Were
You
you
have
down
sarcoid-
at Ground Zero? Call us now. And let's go on. Here we go.
The things that they have done here in the state of North Carolina are crimes.
Crime.
Not
And
New York,
when the time
bitch.
comes, it's going to be dealt with. I'm not going to say how. I'm not going to say when. But I'm just going to let them dig their own hole. And if you think I'm going to be silenced, think again. I will say this much. For any of you that want to see the videos that they're attempting to take down, click on my archive.org link. I've backed up the videos there, and I also have them on my desktop. You will not conceal your...
Okay, so right there, Wally's like, the videos that they're trying to conceal. I took down a video for copyright because he took audio from 2 of my videos that are totally on my channel. They've been there for a year. Like, no one's trying to hide nothing. But, crimes.
Well, it's the same way when he was like listed as inactive on the Star Wars, our
Yes.
our like our roster. And he's like, they're trying to scrub my existence, right? And erase. No, idiot, you're not a member of the group anymore. It's just that simple.
We had a higher up say, can you find Walter in the system? And they're like, oh yeah, he's there. He's retired in good standing. Like that. There's no controversy. There's no, it's always a controversy.
Did you see him? He was talking with his friend about 4th of July, and they saw a couple of accidents or whatever, and then they said, "Oh, we were going to go look for fireworks." This guy doesn't have 2 nickels to rub together, and he made this whole thing that when his friend comes, he's not really going to have a lot of money or whatever.
yeah. He set up his friend to pay for everything.
But then he says, "We're going to look for fireworks, but you know what? We can't shoot them off here on the property. It's not allowed."
Yes.
But
after he talks about the free South,
we can't shoot them off on the property. But if the leasing office says, but it's perfectly legal to have fireworks in the South, but we can't shoot them off here in the property. It's perfectly legal to have BB guns in the Free South, but it may not be legal to shoot them in your Bradley unit. Do you get the connection? Is there an analogy there that can be had?
Does the light bulb go off? No. We could have fireworks and put them on the kitchen table and look at them and not light them. That's totally allowed.
Hidden's thing down here is freaking me out because every time I look in the corner of my screen, I'm like, "Oh shit, Wally's here!" And then I'm like, "Oh, damn it!"
Hidden's trying to get me back. We're gonna have to blur out. Wally's gonna be privacy, and then we're gonna have to blur out 74 hours of Maga Man's dumb face in the corner.
And then dumbass Maga Man, he goes and he puts up that little video where he's at an overpass with his buddy, and he shows a little fireworks show.
Yeah.
They probably do a better one at the Cyclones game or at the Long Island Ducks game. It's a little league. When you come from New York and you go to other places and see a little fireworks thing.
Well, if you watch the video I posted on social media for the fireworks at the Mets game, then you'll see.
The Mets game, at Citi Field,
which is not too far from where Wally grew up.
He's gonna have PTSD.
So I'm planning my road trip to North Carolina. And
great.
Yeah. I'm not there yet, but I'm close. I just got.
You're just trying to make his rant. Like he goes,
they
called my leasing office. Yeah. Then it's going to be like, and Shane stood across the street from my property and glared at me for an hour, and like it's going to be the thing.
And anybody who comes near my car, did you hear the other one?
Do a thing where you get closer to his car until he
no. But he was ranting again. He did his whole rant, and then it went from if you even see one of these purple-haired, green-haired bull,
you can run them over.
Yeah, right. If
he said, take them out. Don't even think about it.
Exactly.
Just take the shot.
Don't. Be proactive. Just.
Yeah. Don't even think.
Don't even think about it. Just what a nut. I think I flagged that one for terrorism or something. I don't know.
I flag everyone, and unfortunately, the one, Dan, that I swear I got an email from YouTube.
Let me try to find what I'm looking at. What was I looking at?
We should probably watch the rest of this video first.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
James, you will not conceal your crimes. I learned my lesson after 2 YouTube channels to back up my material, especially if it's been flagged. And now you're trying to cover up what you've done, and that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, with these claims that were made with all of these videos, I have submitted counterclaims, and I'm fully confident that all of these videos shall be restored. You're not going to get away with this. I promise you that. When the time comes, I'm not going to say how, I'm not going to say when, but when the time comes,
no, Wally, he's not going to say anything.
You did this to yourselves. That's all I'm going to say. I've been advised by a good friend of mine who's sitting here right now watching me record this, a good friend of mine, also a viewer of the channel.
I've been advised by Keith Kevin LLC Esquire.
My legal counsel.
Yeah, they're huddling and forming their legal strategy.
We've been watching our news feeds all day.
Hanging out with me for 2 weeks. He's a brother of mine, great friend, having a good time with him. He was witness to all of this when it all unfolded, and he's been giving me some good sound advice. So I'm only going to say this because
Yeah,
he
probably
just gave me a
lay
little
off of
chit-chat
YouTube
before
as his
I
advice.
started recording this audio for you guys. To you two
Did it
dickheads
unfold
out
or
there,
did it
keep it up.
unroll?
You think I'm playing games and you think it's a bluff.
Roll out.
I already have
Bluff.
certain things going on behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes,
I
guys.
got all the time in the world. I'm retired, fully.
You're retarded.
And I
Fully.
can sit back, I can wait,
Said
and
the
I
R
have
word.
time.
And I'm not
And what's even
apologizing.
more important is that I have patience. So please,
Sure you
keep
do.
dragging
Does
me
that
to
mean
the
he's a
mud.
doctor?
Keep smearing and defaming my character. Keep posting blatantly derogatory things about me and lies and slander and libel. Please keep doing it. I want you to, because when the time comes and I'm ready to strike, you're not gonna like what's in store for you. And as a certain Dan Edward King said, "Oh, take it on the cheek, take the L." Fuck you, you Charles Manson plaid shirt wearing, gross, disgusting, long-haired freak. And that
Those
goes
are
for
popsicles.
Julia Child too.
Julie Childs.
Both of you are gonna learn a fucking hard lesson in reality. You're gonna destroy me with certain things. Let's find out how you're gonna really destroy me.
Come get
Because I
some.
know certain things about the two of you that I haven't said yet here on YouTube. And I'm not like
Really,
I'm
he
not
hasn't
naked
said yet.
like you two. I don't do what you're doing.
Oh,
This has been going on for over 6 years, where I've been accused of being a child abuser and a racist and a bigot
And a
and
pederast.
a Nazi and everything else. That I tried to kill the mother of my kids and,
Nope.
you know, that I'm sitting
You said
outside
no.
trying to shoot black people, then calling my leasing office twice, sending me threatening emails. Kevin Colbert left a voicemail with one of my closest and best friends here under the false pseudonym of
False.
Lucy Stevenson. I have it all backed up. It's on my archive.org
I saw that
site.
video,
It's
too.
on my desktop. It's on my external hard drive.
He saved it in
You
multiple
will be
places, guys.
exposed, and I will not be silent. When the time comes, I'm
Wait,
just
that's on
saying,
archive.com.
make sure you're ready for it, because when it comes, I'm going after you, and you're going to have a lot to answer for. I promise you that on the lives of my beautiful children
No.
and on my friends' lives. You're gonna be
The ones who are
So
still alive.
that's my favorite part of the video, because he's sitting there and he's telling like how his good friend is there and his good friend is staying with him. So presumably he's making this video like right across from the guy, and he goes, "I swear revenge on my beautiful kids and my friends." Like, do you think he made eye contact with the guy? And the guy's like, "Whoa, don't swear on my life." Like,
No, I think
that
he
part
did
made
the
me laugh
guy.
out loud when he's, because it sounded like an afterthought. He's like, "My beautiful children. Oh, and my friend. Yeah, my friend too."
Well, his friend, you give too much credit for, and you were appealing to his sense of civility and sanity. His friend voluntarily went down to stay with Wally,
Yeah.
not once or twice.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't look good for this guy.
Question the judgment of Wally's friend.
Yeah, you
okay?
can't even. He's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But
It's not like
you
he fell accidentally into Wally's apartment. You know, like
I think the guy is like, he's kind of like Wally. Like, I think he's struggling financially, and I think I said it the last time he was down. I think the guy was trying to hint like, "Hey, you want to shack up together and like save some money." But talk about night. But also that guy's dealing with cancer, so Wally's probably like, "I don't want to take care of your sick ass."
if
So,
you're the
like,
friend, see where he keeps the child-sized sex, whatever thing that is.
Yeah.
See where he keeps that.
You
Once
know,
you see that, run for your life. Run for your life. But I mean, if you have a friend down, wouldn't
Wally'd be
take
like, "You don't
him-
mind if I use this right now, do you?" Like,
This, Carolina
I
has
can't
some
sleep
really
in that
pretty
room, it's for my
places. The
kids.
Smoky Mountains, the Blue Ridge Highway, Lake Wiley, Lake Norman. There's so many. Why doesn't he take him there and show him?
because
and
we
videotape
ain't got no money.
We got-
Money.
and Wally is the least physically
Where'd
active
all my money
there
go?
is.
I don't know.
The
Like
rash on his leg prevents him from walking
Can
around.
you
anymore.
imagine? He gets up in the morning and he says to his friend, "Hey, Keith or Kevin or whatever the guy, hey, I'm gonna strap on. Let's go to Walmart. What is he gonna do with the guy? I mean, let's go to Dick's Sporting Goods and see if the pellets are on sale. I mean, what possibly could they do for fun?
Well,
I
you
want
said
somebody to
when-
chop up that sentence, and I want you to say, "Hey, Keith, I just got up and strapped on. Let's go to Dick's."
yeah.
And that takes on a whole other connotation. And that's the type of morning I think Wally is trying.
I mean, maybe they're banging one another, and that's fine. I mean, like everyone should fall in love, Wally.
Yeah, right, Wally. Yeah, I mean,
There's someone out there for everybody.
but the way he talks
Jerk the
about
guy
it, right?
off. I mean, come on.
But when he talks about him, there's a little bit of a twinkle. There's a little bit of twinkle in his
Yeah.
eye. There's something in his voice that sounds.
He's like, my friend's coming up. Oh boy,
my buddy, my pal of mine. Yeah, we're gonna go out and we're gonna get a a double-sized barbecue propane tank.
They're watching. They're watching the
Everybody will love
Orville,
us.
and they're sitting next to one another, and Wally just puts his hand on his knee.
I'm thinking it. Yeah. You think he lets him wear one of his Trump hats? You think he does? He lets him wear the pumpkin one?
Oh yeah, they're definitely trying on
really?
each other's clothes.
With no
that's what
pants.
that's what bros do. They
With
try
no
on each other's
pants.
clothing.
know.
Oop, I
They're
cut
just
my
wearing
camera.
soccer jerseys with no pants.
Oh, do you know
Winnie the Pooh in it?
Do you know which video he tried to flag on me? I actually blurred it out now. It was the one where he's like has a Google Earth map, and then it cuts to baby mama, and my friend did the voiceover, and instead of you looking for motherfuckers on Google Earth,
Yeah.
he
What?
tagged that for privacy, baby mama's face.
I'm
What does
pretty
he
sure.
care? He's
Yeah,
not-
I'm pretty sure when you do a privacy thing, it says it has to be you, or it has to be your kids, and you check a box that says I'm their legal guardian. So he can't go, this is someone I know. Like he violated a terms of service by reporting that.
He's not baby mama's representative or has any legal binding to her other than he cut out on her and left the kids in New York, and maybe some child support comes out of his government subsistence check. But other than that, he has nothing to her. He was never married to her. He wasn't.
And also, like, how did you get that picture? You know what I mean? Like he shared it. That's why we have a picture of her.
Yeah, right. What? Yeah.
Like he violated her privacy by putting her picture.
You know, to tell you the truth, actually, I think that I had that picture from another picture where he was at an event, so it's actually my picture.
You should get it for copyright if he ever uses it.
I should actually. Yeah.
This is my artwork, sir.
That's like that sad, lonely Vader picture. I'm the one who took that picture of him.
Oh, that's
sitting
great.
In the lawn chair at an event.
That will someday, when the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are gone and everything is gone, and somebody digs it up, there'll be that picture of Wally and say, "This was humankind right here."
This is all we have left.
That's all that's left.
I wish I had the forethought, like Babu, and he didn't get everything, to record all of Wally's early shit, like all the Facebook stuff and all the, because there were so many.
I've said it like a dozen times, and I never do anything. I have an old hard drive, but I have for the geeks out there, there's a partition issue, and I have to when I plug it in, the computer doesn't identify it. But there's a treasure trove of I recorded all of what I used to be at work, and I used to record his shit at work.
You got it, man. You got to.
It was all his Facebook stuff, but it's kind of annoying because you hear dings and dongs from friends or popping in and stuff. But it's most of his stuff. But I don't have access to it. I got to play with it, but I keep on forgetting about it.
Because I would watch all this, talk about old pictures. Like I would have taken 1 million pictures of Wally if I had known. I would have had my camera on him every minute of the day. I would have gone, instead of avoiding troops that he was at, I would have purposely gone to troops that he was at, so I could see him shitting his pants and
observe.
Oh my god, it's like it would have been fascinating to document.
I just became Facebook friends with him, and the very first time he did that sad fishing nonsense, where he's like, I may jump off a cliff, everybody feel bad for me. I told all the Star Wars guys, maybe you could reach out to this guy. He's a new member, and he's upset.
I remember. You were sincere.
And somebody actually said, he's done this before. And I forget where I was going with what were we talking about? We're talking about
recording stuff and just knowing then what we know now about all the crazy.
Yeah, Babu has all his old vintage stuff.
Babu has all his old stuff. I forgot the train of thought I was going on.
Your brain is a partition issue, apparently.
Yes, apparently. This beef. I forget at what point I was trying to. I'll remember in a minute or two. But well, let me see. He went.
I have some classic YouTube poop.
Let me see. I'm having a brain moment. I'm having an old senior moment.
Maybe we should ask Hidden about this. Is Wally officially un-MGTOW'd now? Has he been
excommunicated
from the MGTOW community? Is he? Because now all of a sudden, he was a big MGTOW guy, and he would make 1,000 MGTOW things, but now I guess he's disenchanted with the MGTOW world, so he's on to black conservatism now. Seems to be his new latest flavor of thing to do.
Well,
all right, well said.
All right, yeah. What did you blazing up over there? What?
No, I'm just trying to think about how to answer that, because the whole point is there's no community. So for him to want to be something in that, then there's nothing there for him.
Well, he
Right,
used
but
to
this-
come in and like try to. He used to try
Yeah,
to
well, that was-
redefine MGTOW.
Well,
this
that's the
is
problem.
this was
Like,
an example
you
of
either
Wally.
are or you aren't. It's a decision that you make, and that's all it is. It's not like a bunch of people getting together doing stuff. It's like you either do these things or you don't do these things.
Well,
Right.
that was Wally's thing. Like when he was in the Star Wars costuming group, he would make video after video or Facebook after Facebook talking about like that he was the authority on this costuming stuff and how to do this. Like he goes in and then like he doesn't put one foot in, he jumps in all the way in and then tries to overwhelm everything. He did that in
Oh,
Masonry. He did that in MGTOW.
I
And
remember
now
the
he's
point I
gonna-
was trying to make.
Yeah.
I was saying when people mention when I said, you know, see if this guy's okay. A few people in that chat convo said while he was at some event, he was telling people, "Oh, I'm having a rough time," and that was Hebrew Spaceman said he would observe Wally. If apparently when Wally was at Troops, he would be like, "Oh, by the way, my life, and I'm a 9/11 guy, and my girl, and like," so he even in person he would do the same like feel bad for me nonsense, and he was doing it back then, and it's like, dude, the Star Wars group are not. We're not your like, you know, this. You go to therapy for this. These
And
are a
again-
bunch of people.
We're like Wally, like completely independent. Oh, if it's
Bravo.
Babu's
okay,
coming.
completely independent of the Star Wars costuming guy, and I probably told this story a lot, and I'm going to say it again because it's just so apropos to Wally. He's saying that he was never make out, but when he came into our lodge, right, you have to go through a little bit of a process to come in, and one of the guys that he came in with was a retired police captain, and he told us, oh, you know, like, I don't know about this guy, you know, and he's like saying he was talking about killing himself. He says, he said to the retired police captain,
Yeah.
you know, he said,
But did he say self-delete?
no. He's like, he told me he wants to kill himself and this and that. And this is before Dan King, me,
Yes.
Hebrew.
And he was also
any of
still
these
he
guys.
was
This had
living with
nothing-
baby mama and the kids, so he doesn't
Right,
even have that
and he was
excuse.
telling him back then, before he was even in our lodge, when he was going through the process of meeting with people, he was saying, he told me he wants to kill himself. And I said, oh, you know, you don't want to kill yourself. Nothing is that bad or whatever it is. And he knew from then that this guy was just, you know, this isn't something that happened because of 2 or 3 people. This is just the guy's been out there for probably forever. So, I mean, you know, he always tries to find some kind of boogeyman, and we're his latest boogeyman. But
But it's all
You'll
you think
find
it's
new-
all
you'll find
attention.
another
Like,
one.
why would you say that to someone you don't know? Like,
right, like yeah, right. Yeah,
and I think it
barely
was
know,
the
yeah.
attention. I think he was like,
Well,
oh,
sure.
they're gonna talk about me and think about me and
Well,
maybe they'll
because
call me up.
Wally visually smacks you in the face, right? It's like with all the shit that he wears. So before you even he opens his mouth or anything, you just like look at the guy and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" Right? So automatically,
right.
he's captured your attention.
Exactly.
What is
Peacock.
that thing on his hip? Why is he wearing a giant red hat? What's with the stupid?
It's like a peacock stands in front of you and does
Yeah,
the thing with
Exactly. It's like a mating ritual thing, right? So that's before he even says anything, right? Now, if
Right,
you have
right.
any interaction with him, give it a few minutes and 9/11 will come up.
Yeah.
And maybe even his trolls will come up, and you're like, dude, I just fucking met you. What are you talking about? What's it?
He did that to me when I said goodbye to him at the first time I met him. I shook his hands and I said, I'll see you later on Facebook. And he said, yeah, you will. He goes, my Facebook profile has the Twin Towers as the profile picture. I was just like, let go of my hand, please, now.
So you can't be in Wally's presence without then, you know, him saturating your pores with his nonsense.
Yeah.
Like he leaves like a residue on you.
So and then now
like a sarcoidosis
even
red
to this
leg.
day, it's almost and I think people are telling him to like stop talking about your trolls. It's getting tiring or whatever.
Doesn't matter. He'll double down.
Yeah, and then
Because it's beyond trolling, so he has to talk about it.
He's got the same list of stuff. Death threats. They tried to get me kicked out of my home. They've been calling my friend. They said I was never at the World Trade Center. They said I had stolen valor. They said I tried to kill my baby mama. They said I did something with my kids, and that's all bullshit. That's
He's also
complete-
combining
nobody's-
terms. He said that I harassed the the leasing office.
Right.
He's
Well-
combining, and he said, "I called under false pretenses," which isn't like a thing.
He also
Right,
says
right.
that we nobody to this day has ever said we said he tried to kill the mother of it. We just said
Nobody
he
ever
choked
said
her,
that.
Well,
right?
he may
Yeah.
be right because we say that he was arrested for strangling her.
That's
and
right, but-
the arrest said constricting the air supply or blood flow of a human. And if you do that for too long, yeah, but we never actually used the words
There was
you tried to
obviously
kill your
some kind of
girl.
physical altercation there for
Yeah.
sure.
And
Because-
the child abuser thing stems from one comment one guy in our group made who commented about a picture of Wally in his fucking dumb ugly face with his dumb ugly fucking hat and said something, and this was after this WinterCon event, right?
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
all knew,
WinterCon.
and the
Oh.
comment was basically to the effect of, and we let this guy around kids or something like that.
Right.
And
Right.
it wasn't even that pointed a comment. And
Right, but
that's
it's
where this
it's a-
whole I'm a child abuser
No,
came
but,
from.
But I appreciate the comment because if you have a full
Well, it's
grown man that
true.
has a meltdown and starts cursing and yelling and beating his fists on the floor, you don't want him
Yeah.
at that kind of event around kids. Absolutely not.
Of course, but that's what Wally takes, like a little, it's like a pearl, right? He takes a little grain of something, and then he grows it into his own warped MAGA.
Well, he
fucking
also
thing.
tried to he keeps trying to make the point. It's like, no, I had a reasonable explanation why I almost started a fist fight and made a scene. Like he tries to make it like what I did it, but I had a good excuse. It's like there's never a good excuse to
Yeah.
almost get in a fist fight with a security
I
guy at
really
a comic convention.
Don't
Never.
have a lot of faith in Wally's de-escalation techniques. I really don't. I don't have much faith in them. But the other thing is, when they made fake Facebook, Wally, I made the fake Facebook profiles, both of them, Schadenfreude and Wally. I did it, Wally. I did it. But what's the big? I don't get what the big thing is. I mean, they didn't say anything like, I don't know, like you're. They were just a goof. Like he makes that out to be.
Defamation.
He makes that out to be some big giant. I don't get
You
it.
are going to get another crayon cease and desist.
He
One
admits it.
One was Schadenfreude, which is a German word. I don't know if you know what it means, but it means taking
Peasant
pleasure.
farmer.
No, Schadenfreude.
Yeah, and I know what it means. Yeah.
I
It
know
means
what it means.
taking pleasure in another's misfortune. And yes, I take immense pleasure in any of Wally's misfortune. I Schadenfreude every time because I got sick and tired of watching his stuff that Dan talked about when his screen went blank on Facebook and that
Yeah.
this and blah, blah, and every day it was another. So like there's something wrong with this guy. I can't take him anymore. So I'm gonna troll him with a fake Facebook profile, and he lost his mind on that. And to this day, he talks about it. They made like his baby mama looked at a fake. Wasn't even on Facebook, but he makes it out to be that like baby mama saw this fake Facebook profile that you can barely even, unless you were the couple of people that were in on it and knew what it meant, could even attach it to Wally. And yeah, you did it. You had a little smile on it and said, "Yeah, that's fucking stupid, Wally."
Well,
But he makes it out like she saw it, and then she said, "Oh, I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm gone. You got to leave." So I mean, it's all nonsense.
Well,
It's
if you
all
talk to Wally now, he makes it as if he can prove without a shadow of a doubt, like you just said, like you admitted to a thing. If someone came forward and said, I made a fake Craigslist ad, to fuck with you, and what, like, if he goes back to baby mama, she's not going to be like, oh, okay, come on back, let's sleep together. Like she's not coming back. It's done.
He likes to make it about these peripheral little issues, but I bet you that there was a lot going on inside that we don't even know about.
Sure.
And we know that. And he tries to blame it on outside forces, but he never looks in the mirror.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of miss the old Wally with him pining for her. Like he seems to be doing that less and less and less.
Yeah, that is the vintage golden Wally.
It is.
Yeah.
It's reinvented Wally.
He
of
holds
like,
he bottles it up, and then he'll, like, people, like you said, like his friends will tell him, like, hey, you should stop talking about these things. But then, like, Wally will make a video at 2 a.m. He'll be like, people have told me that I must not talk about this, but I must. And then he'll just renege and just deep dive right into baby mama again.
But it used to be like 1 or 2 a week, and then it was like 1 or 2 a month. Now we get like 1 a year. Like I was hoping for the Christmas breakdown video, which I guess we did get that. Did we get? Was it this year or last year? I guess
so Savage, apparently somebody, one of the Star Wars guys who lives in Manhattan, swears he saw baby mama on a subway with some dude, but it's hearsay. We don't know. He didn't take a picture.
I would.
But so there's a rumor, but we don't know what the deal is.
I would love to see Baby Mama in some other guy's arms and have that picture. I mean, somebody take away Wally's shoelaces because he's going to hang himself.
Yeah.
No, we don't. But he's invented this whole MAGA. He's really all into the anti-New York thing. I keep saying it. That's for us. None of his viewers give a shit.
Like who? Yeah, right. How many times can you talk that same narrative and
he's like, wait until they hear how much I'm gonna describe how bodegas suck, and those guys from New York are gonna cry. This is it. And then
if Wally was really smart, but he's not, obviously for every reason known to man. If he was like doing the whole leftist anti-city thing, like don't just focus on New York, right? Talk about Chicago. There's no shortage, sadly, of news he could put out there that would feed his narrative. Unfortunately, but he only targets New York, and he only targets New York because we're from New York, and we're the only ones who watch. And he thinks it like really gets under our skin. I fucking love it. I want him to do more.
Wally,
I bet you we can settle out of court for 2 cans of pellets and 5 pepper balls.
No, Maga Man would be like, I will not settle for any money. These men they will pay. Revenge is mine. To dish best served cold. On the lives of my friend next to me and my family. Like he'll never.
And
it'll
he
never
gets
end.
on us for being nerds, but he keeps quoting Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan every chance he can.
But when he talks about with Baby Mama, he sent me that thing in like Baby Mama's image. First of all, it was my picture of Baby Mama,
right,
to begin with, and it was privacy. But he has no legal right to say what or what not. If she complained,
you committed crimes.
Yeah,
crimes.
right, that's a crime. But then he speaks for Esteban. This guy harassed my friend Esteban and left the message.
Now, if you doxed him, it infuriates me. Because you didn't fucking dox Esteban.
Put the knife down.
Oh, sorry.
We have Esteban's information because Wally doxed him.
Everything we know about Esteban came from Wally, right? And now all of a sudden he's Esteban's personal representative. And I like when he plays the message that I left on Esteban's phone, because it's like, okay, I listened to it and it's like, okay, yeah. It seems reasonable with this guy saying to Esteban that he's putting all your stuff up there. It seems like he's giving you a
Wally
heads up.
just hears you saying he's no good, Esteban. You shouldn't hang out. Wally's like, that's defamation. Wally confuses hearing something that makes him upset with defamation because it made me upset, so it must be illegal.
Here's my question. My question. So clearly you called, right? Fine. The phone calls were fine. I know what Wally claims about Esteban's reaction to it, but I want to know what I would love to know, and I don't know if we could ever know what Esteban actually said to Wally.
Yeah.
About
I do know the video. Wally took the video down within hours.
Right.
So Esteban must have been like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah. Right. And then he keeps saying it. Oh, and he tried to drive a wedge between my friend and I. Well, first of all, Esteban is my friend now too, because I really actually
he's mine.
No, I had a good conversation with him.
I want an Esteban.
No, well, just call
him up.
I actually had a good.
He gave out his number. Just give a call.
I had a really good conversation with the guy, and he seems like a really, really level. He's not crazy like Wally. And he told me 100% on my kids' lives, and now those are my friends, and on your guys' lives too, just like Wally. Hey, Mac. No, he told me.
Fuck you, Dan. Oh, cute dog, by the way.
Yes.
He told Wally that he does not want anything to do with him up on YouTube. He doesn't want anything. And he said if Wally does it again, he's going to go to the police or whatever. He doesn't want anything about himself, his family, or anything put up on YouTube. And I said, we put a lot of stuff on there. And he's like, how can I see that? And I said I could send you a link, but I don't know. And I never did send him the link. But if I think he'd be mortified if he saw that whole 1 hour live stream of where he made that big thing about Esteban, and he's saying, because of these guys in New York and these Star Wars fucks and all that stuff. Remember, he did that whole thing. It had nothing to do with Esteban.
Or how about like walking around the guy's house talking about his pictures?
Look at his wife.
He tried to get that taken down, the one with the Esteban stuff, but they didn't take it down. And I told him, look, this is fair use. I'm talking about this stuff, and they didn't take it down. But I might send Esteban a link yet to this day, because every time I might send him the link to that and say,
Yeah.
Esteban, take a look. This is what he's talking about. Because who was it? Irv Gotti said, get your fucking name out of get my name out of your mouth. And I don't care if Wally. I don't care if he talks about me or said whatever he does, but the big thing all the time with my name and this and my picture on every freaking video he does, it's kind of getting old. So that does bother me a little bit. But again, whatever.
Are you trying to say you don't have a wrench? No. Yeah, everyone has wrench. I'm looking. Everyone has wrenches. Oh, actually, Babu doesn't have a wrench. How'd that happen?
I don't know. How do I see if I have a wrench? Like, I don't know.
You have to go back into like a regular browser. It doesn't show up in StreamYard. That's why it's confusing.
Oh, because then I hear get the double voice thing, and
I have it running in the background with the sound off. That's kind of like my MO. Since I'm an advanced YouTuber here. This is we're up to episode 14. We've done 14 of these stupid fucking
great.
things.
Well, as long as Wally's made like 15 videos since.
I think Wally has now. He's finally and he hit it big with his last couple of videos.
Yeah, what the fuck, YouTube? I'm jelly. I'm actually not jelly because it's. I read a fiction book once, and they were talking about the mob versus the Yakuza. The mob, if you turn on a mob, they'll kill you like the next day. But the Yakuza they'll remember that you turned on them, but then they'll let you live your life for like 10 years, because that way when they come and get you, you have more to lose. So that's the way I think about Wally. I'm like, Wally, get your views, get your videos, make all your content, and then we'll take it away from you and you'll cry. Oh, my video.
Why did that fucking video go viral? One of his last ones.
I don't know.
I think that was
I think
title.
because he was one of the first guys.
Yeah, the title.
Who went out there and he posted. I think I know he has a MeWe account, but no one's on MeWe. He gets like 2 or 3 views on MeWe, but something happened and it went, Yeah.
Can you imagine now, like, if you're actually looking for some kind of information about this this fucking psychopath that shot this thing up, and you're looking for it, and you go to Wally, and the big revelation is that he had some kind of thing from the Underground Railroad, and somehow he's trying to parlay that into some kind of psychotic left-wing Antifa thing, and him and his friends.
Oh yeah, the guy was wearing black. You must. Be
it's always Antifa,
like,
and
dressed like a woman. So
you know what the best thing is, and I was thinking about this, and I don't want to get political. I don't want to go anywhere like, but he's saying. The guy went to a Trump rally wearing a Where's Waldo outfit.
So he can't be a Trump supporter.
He can't be a
Trump supporters don't do that. Like, he just dismisses it. Like, they don't do that.
The guy sitting in the Senate or sitting in the Capitol with the walrus hat on. Trump supporters don't do wacky
if you heard
like
what
that.
Wally said recently, he said that there's more and more evidence that the whole January 6th thing, that was the government trying to make Trump. Those were all actors, and they were trying to make Trump. He said that the other day, and I was like, because we all watched Wally make a 12-hour live stream on January 6th.
I remember that.
Rooting everybody on, but now they're all actors, and it was all just like phony baloney.
It's always funny because a couple of the shooters now, and the one in Buffalo, it's almost horrifying having to say it, because like it seems like every week now there's another mass shooting, and it's really ridiculous. But I mean, instead of trying to like just what does Sigmund Freud say? A cigar is just
Sometimes
a cigar.
it's a cigar.
Yeah, a cigar is just a cigar.
I thought he said a cigar is always a black dick. That's I thought with Freud.
That's what Wally said.
Wait, Hidden, are
like,
you showing pictures of him? Sorry, Slippery. This guy with Antifa. What's the deal?
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
His social media was covered in it.
But I mean, whatever. Like you're trying to parlay this into something that is some kind of like.
Wally's always like, if it's a right-wing guy, well, he was pushed too far, and this is what happens. Yeah. And I may do the same thing, guys. And if it's a left-wing guy or a black guy, they're animals. This is what they're all about. Don't you guys know? It's like it's always the same. He did that.
Like the black dude in the subway who wants to shoot up white or Jewish people, whatever it is. He's a nut. There's no political discourse there that's of any value. He's just crazy, and it's just a shame.
What's really
Well,
crazy is that the cops always know about these guys, and they always are watching
you know what?
these guys.
And
And they
I
don't
had
do
this
shit.
discussion today about that, right? Because this guy, and this is what, like Wally, why he should not be able to fall through the cracks and be able to get a real firearm.
He railed against red flag laws, which I
this-
actually have a problem with in theory. But there are
It-
people like Wally who, like, you really need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, people like Wally ruined it for everyone else. That's how you should really look at it.
Well, this kid, a year ago was picked up. They picked him up because he threatened to kill himself. Now, this is a Wally everyday occurrence. But if that happens, there should be some type of
Right. I agree.
it should be recorded some way, or there should be. I don't know. I don't, look, if it was that easy, we'd all have the answers. But if you threaten to kill yourself like Wally did on a number of occasions, the one time where he's doing it on YouTube and he's got his gun between his legs and I'm going to put a gun in my mouth and blow my, and the cops have to come and get you and catch you with the butterfly net
Yeah,
or the thing.
No guns for you.
Yeah, gas, son.
There should be.
Like, that's it. Like,
Well-
no second chance. You've shown that you are capable of,
Oh, and there's a warrant for you in New York. Oh, you're not allowed to see your children. Oh, there's a restraining order. Okay, maybe, yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's got domestic. He's got domestic.
But then he'll be
violence.
like, "But Slippery did it," like that's
Yeah.
what he'll say before he passes out.
He's got all the flags, domestic violence. And I'm not talking about red flag laws. I'm talking about things that when a NICS check comes up, they'll say, "Oh, okay, you got a domestic violence," because even though it got pled down, it was a domestic violence issue. I'm sure the baby mama still has some kind of order of protection on him, so that's another red flag. The guy's been, taken out of his apartment, I guess at least a couple of times, threatening suicide, and he had to go to the. He had to go to the.
Wally was. I didn't research it all, but Wally said, according to the new law that's being passed, New York is going to make you show them your social media stuff, which understandably Wally would be upset about because his Facebook every other week he was like, "Goodbye,
Well,
world."
I was
So,
watching that with my
yeah,
kid,
he
and
doesn't have
we
a
were playing
chance.
it. Wally's
Assuming
like,
he's correct,
they
I
can't
don't know.
They can't force you to put your private information. Wally, you dumbass. YouTube, Facebook, they own your information when you
Right.
post it. It's not private. So if you post your shit up online, and I don't agree with it in theory. Like, I would rather the cops not have to pry into my personal life, right? But it's not my personal life because I've made it public. So Wally, when you put your shit out there, it's your own fault if now somebody else sees it.
That's that 14-page agreement that no one reads when you sign up to these accounts that you say, I agree. That's like you're writing away your life.
He just made another video about the New York law that was just passed because of the Supreme Court concealed carry or whatever it is. And he absolutely understands less than zero about it because I've kind of followed it for a while. There were a couple Supreme Court decisions before it. Heller and McDonald were big Supreme Court Second Amendment decisions. And he's talking about, New York is trying to create these safe places. No, they're called sensitive places. And the reason that entire language, classifying places as sensitive, like courthouses and schools and whatever, that language exists because Antonin Scalia put that language in one of the cases that said it's absolutely constitutional to have prohibitions against sensitive places because that's been part of our culture and that's been part of our custom since the founding of the country. So you if even in the Wild West, if you went to a place that served liquor, you would have to give your guns up, or if you went into certain sensitive places, you have to.
Right.
And he tries to make these barroom arguments that are grounded in absolute nonsense.
Well, he goes on with the shooter, right? And he's like, he doubles down on, so go out there and buy more guns. Like, you fucking idiot. Like, that's not the argument you should be, professing.
Yeah, like he's not helping his argument, by saying that.
But the whole thing, fundamentally too, when you talk about like the Second Amendment or all the amendments, that was a contract between the federal government and the people, right?
No, it's a God-given right. It's a God-given right.
Jesus said it in the Bible.
But like that was between the federal government and the people. The states didn't have to abide by those.
Right.
And then but there's become this principle, I guess, at the Supreme Court of what do they call it? Incorporation, that it's so fundamental to the country that it becomes incorporated into the state. So New York is allowed to have prohibitions on sensitive places. That's absolutely. But he turns it into this whole game show. And the other thing is, in the New York law, because I read the New York law, if you had a misdemeanor DWI, in the prior 5 years, it's like you can't. You be automatically disqualified for a concealed carry permit. So I'm thinking that's pretty strict. So think about a guy like Wally. Like he didn't have a misdemeanor DWI.
Not a chance in hell.
But I mean, like threatening suicide, threatening to hurt yourself. That's got to be an automatic disqualification.
And plus, he had to meet with a nice girl from Crisis, I think it was called.
Crisis, I think, yeah.
Or a nice lady who gave me medication.
Yeah, so
and it made me feel funny.
So yeah, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna get something to just take the edge off because I traded this for where's a picture of baby mama? I traded this.
Oh, there's another video where he just says, "Yeah, I was sad the other day and I just took a bottle of pills. Down they went."
Well,
He's just like, I just abused drugs. Yeah. Now I'm okay though. He's telling his audience how he had a bottle of pills. He went like this, and that was like 4 hours ago. He's like, yeah, I'm okay now. Like,
I'm just thinking like Hidden has made an enhancement to the show by just putting Wally there in the corner, just endlessly babbling because it
when I was playing the video doesn't have Wally, but then Hidden's thing, it almost matched up for a little bit. I'm like, oh my god,
to make it do that.
He's virtual. I remember this video too. Like every now and again, because it's on a loop, Wally holds up a remote, and I remember because he was saying, if you don't like what I have to say, just turn off the channel. The remote has just an off switch. So there's Wally again, hypocrite Wally saying, if you don't like what someone says on YouTube, just turn it off. But of course, crimes will go to jail, defamation, slander, blah 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 blah. And I swear to God, I had pajamas when I was 11 years old that looked just like what Wally's wearing right there. They were like light and they had gray lines and red on them. I don't remember what they looked like, but I swear to God, Wally has my.
I haven't seen him wear his soccer jerseys much lately.
He hasn't been on camera much, right? He's just
he's been doing his plumber, whatever those the VCR repair. He's been using those guys.
Well, I was going to say earlier, we were talking about the guns when he said, of course, right? He's talking about down here in the free South, says the guy with 400 177 caliber pellets.
No, he's got that 22. He's got that 22.
He's got the 22. Yeah,
he may kill a bear if it's really close and it already has very thin.
You ever watch
bones.
Demolition Ranch? Do you ever watch Demolition Ranch? It's a YouTube channel. It's a gun channel. It's great. The guy actually tested a bunch of heavy duty air guns, and they shoot like the ones that he had like $2,000 a piece. And they shoot like 60 cal and 75 cal.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And these things are fucking
thing. Yeah,
you could hunt with these things.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
But Wally's are like, pa-ching. It's like, you fucking idiots. I know these things have multi-shot barrels, they're pressurized and everything.
Yeah.
So Wally, all this gun stuff, everything, he has so little legitimacy. Like with kids, you can't see your kids. Women, nobody wants to fuck you. Guns, you're not allowed to touch a gun. And on and on and on it goes.
Well, he doesn't want any women, okay? He has one woman that he wants, and that's
what the little tiny rubber.
And she knows her name because I harass her every week.
Do you think he called that little child-sized thing? I shouldn't say her name.
I want to know more about
what made him think he's like, I got so much shit for my rubber pussy about a year ago. You know what I'll do? I'll buy another sex toy and show it on my channel. That will bite me in the ass. What is he thinking? Wally, what are you doing?
It's disturbing, that thing.
Fuck.
That thing is really disturbing. I mean, where does he keep that thing, you think? You think he keeps that, where in the Bradley unit does he keep?
He keeps it under the kid's bed, so it looks like there's a lump, like there's someone sleeping in the bed.
Yeah. Where do you think his buddy has to sleep? He's got to sleep in that fucking Walmart bunk bed.
They're sharing a bed. I think I'm going with I think they're banging. And I think after they have sex, they go, this isn't gay, right? And they're like, no, this is, as they're, cleaning up.
You think
this isn't gay, right? No, it's
you
not
think
gay.
they're doing stuff behind the Paw Patrol shower curtain?
What's great?
I think Wally's like, you can't ruin the sanctity of my children's room. So
you think so? Really?
Sleep with me.
Why the guy hooked
that's
up
his excuse to sleep with me.
Right? He hooked up one of his
See.
Yeah, they share the bed. Yeah.
If they do, who's the top? Who's the bottom? Or are they both bottoms? Or both tops? Wally, we gotta know.
Those beds looked like they couldn't hold more than 90 pounds. If Wally got on top, he would just go boom, boom. He would just like go right through it.
No, I bet the Keith is probably sleeping on the couch or something.
Look, if somebody has to go out of their way to say to the world they're super straight, whatever the hell that means, there's something a little bit.
I looked it up. Super straight means that you're straight, but you will never ever be with a trans person.
Right. It's
And
very
I said,
small.
like,
Is that what
why?
that is?
I'm like, why do you have to announce that? It's like saying I don't like blondes. Like, why advertise? There's no reason to advertise that.
Isn't
like,
that the whole rationale why people were like, okay, like, so if you're gay, why just march and be good to be gay, whatever it is. So he's using that same thing. You don't have to come out and make a whole production about it. Just whatever you are, do your thing.
That's kind of the joke of it, but I'm not sure he gets the joke.
Oh yeah, Maga, yeah. That Black Pill Radio mentioned that also. Like, this guy is Mr. I don't know what his whole Roe versus Wade thing,
Because
whatever.
New York Post is infanticide, right? We want
except if it's my kids, then it's okay. Yeah, it's fuck.
Or like he made the Phantasma video. He's like, they should have been, their moms should have aborted them with coat hangers. That was the robot voice. He did that. And also, I think he said something to Della about abortion too. He's such a fucking vile.
Well, something he said today in his video. He was going through his rant, and he's like, these mothers should keep these women should keep their their legs closed. Yeah, and if they're having a kid, they just want to shit it into a dumpster or something fucking.
He can't make a point without being vile.
What's worse? I was watching that with Thing too, and he was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?"
Yeah,
even a kid is like, this man is missing a couple.
Thing 2 is 11. He was like,
he's already knows that there's just right.
It's great. And who are the people who
he's
like
pro-life unless those babies may grow up to make fun of his YouTube channel. Then throw him in a dumpster before they
Yeah, right. He doesn't.
Wally has no direction. This is a character, right? He's buying into this character. Like, now, I think Wally created Maga Man the same way Donald Trump started running for president, thinking, well, this is a joke. I'll just prop up my brand. And then it started taking on a life of its own.
Yeah.
And then he was like, wait a minute. I think I could actually do this.
If that's the case, then he should be glad. Like, if you were really doing that, you would be thrilled that there's some loser named Dan King, and he does a weekly show, and he talks about me, and he links my channel.
Right.
Any advertisement is good advertisement. And he may go on the show and hate me, but secretly he's like, "Oh, that was great." We go back and forth, and we got an audience. But he's not. He's like, "You're really hurting my feelings."
We drum up interest in his channel.
Yes.
Oh, we actually also have. Yeah, right.
It's like wrestlers, who are enemies, but then they're working out in the gym together because they're friends. But then it's like, but Wally's not. Wally, really... you want to do that? We could. No, I don't want to do that because you're awful and terrible.
I don't want to have any relationship with Wally other than this one because he's just really a detestable human being in every way. Every description, anything you could say, he's detestable. I cannot find one fucking
slander,
thing.
libel,
nothing. No, I can't find anything about him. I mean,
I act for a moment when he saw the stray cat and was like, "Let me try to feed the stray cat." I'm like, maybe he's not a complete socio. He saw an animal and is like, "Let me try to take care of that animal."
No,
that gave me a little bit of hope.
There's a photo op that I can make a video about it.
Yeah, right. Everything that's remotely out of the ordinary, he has to make a video.
The one criticism I had about the cat one is he opened up a can of tuna and put the tuna down, and that's bad because the tuna can lid could
cut the
cat's tongue could. But I'm like, he's not a pet guy. He doesn't know that. But I'm like, oh, he's trying. But like Hebrew said, it's like he was like, look at me, I'm taking care of cat, everybody.
And then that was just a little stupid video, and there was no follow up on.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to the cat. He ate the cat
in. Yeah, right. Did the cat get run over?
He's like, I wonder if my .22 caliber will only do this.
But yeah, he said when his friend was coming down, hey, yeah, we're gonna go to the range, we're gonna shoot.
We're going to jerk each other off on the couch while watching Orville. It's going to be great.
He would have made 30 videos if he was at an actual range shooting his pop guns of other people shooting or whatever, or talking to people.
Yeah, he never films himself shooting out in the wild, but he says he does it. So what's?
I don't believe it. I don't believe him.
I think maybe he may have went to a range and they're like, "You're not filming here, asshole." Like, because they're probably all privacy guys.
Can't bring a pellet gun here, like, you know. Slipper, you've been to a range. I've been to indoor ranges. I've been to outdoor ranges. Blah, blah,
You've been to Mitchell Field. You've been to Mitchell Field, Calverton.
Yeah, I used to go to a place by Coliseum all the time back.
Yeah.
And then, I caught at Fort Meade. I was at the what's now an NSA base, but it was a U.S. military base. It was an Army base outside of D.C. That's where I was a range officer. So you can't bring Wally bring his shit and here's my camo.
What do you say you can't like? Do you mean you're not allowed through the door,
no,
or you'll be made fun of relentlessly?
No. Like even at Calverton, and Calverton is like one of the least stringent. They've gotten a little bit stricter because it used to be like the Wild West over there. But they let you actually even have a spot for if you want to shoot a bow and arrow.
It's like a kiddie pool, right?
Yeah,
right.
Like if you have your 12, if you have thing 1 or thing 2 down there, and you want to let them shoot a 22 or something, or they want to do some archery, or they want to shoot a BB gun like Wally. If Wally's there, don't let them go. But if he's not there or any, just.
What I'm just saying, in general, if Wally were to show up with like his 2 or 3 Gamo Swarm Maxims or any of his pistols, and the guy next to you is shooting a Glock 17 or my 9mm, you'd be like, what the fuck is with this guy? You're like,
Yeah, right.
Like, can't you go in your backyard with that? Like, what are you doing here?
If you're a gun guy, right? If you're a gun guy, and the guy next to you is this big 6'2" big jerk, and he's got his big
with
case,
a yellow paintball gun.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he pulls out. Oh, what do you got there? Oh, it's my BB gun. It's my pellet gun. Oh, but it can take down deer. You move over to the next shooting point and say, this guy.
There's a great video where Wally says something like threatening and scary to his audience, and he goes, and if there's any doubt, I have this, and he brings out his little tiny short-barreled yellow thing. He's like, yeah, like it sounds like he's about to pull out whatever what's his name?
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood has the gun that's like that long. Peacemaker, but he whips out this little tiny thing. He's like, oh, look out, guys.
Remember, he was like, I don't want to show it on camera. YouTube will get butthurt. And he's
I was thinking again. I haven't mind for it. I would not.
Which is ridiculous.
Who's the other guy with the gun from the 70s? What the hell's his name? I can see his face.
Charles Bronson did all the death.
Charles Bronson. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
He had
Dirty Harry was with the 44 Magnum.
Dirty Harry.
And then he did the Auto Mag.
Hey, you know what? HS, you're going to be good to go for concealed carry in New York City pretty soon.
They're not going to make it that easy. I still have to demonstrate use, right?
No. That's out. No. You go through the same. That's done.
Listen, I'm waiting now 18 months for my rifle and shotgun permit, right?
Yeah.
Before pandemic, 70% approval rate. Now, I have no reason not to be approved, right?
Of course,
I got a clean record. My fingerprints are already with the FBI. But 18 months later, I haven't heard
until Wally's done with you. My
business partner lives in Queens. I don't live in Queens. He lives in Queens, and he has a pistol permit, and he still hasn't gotten the renewal from a year ago. It should have renewed last year. He still hasn't gotten it, but they sent him a little letter and said COVID and everything is fucked up. And so it's just because the wheels of New York City of 1PP are just very slow.
Of course, right. Like I might get a call in 2 years to go get fingerprinted. They already have my money. They have that happened forever ago.
But you should put in for your concealed carry because it's going to be there's no more proper cause necessary. Right. But they just made a lot of places in the new law, like they made a lot of places with
the MTA is the tricky one, right? You can't carry in the subway because the MTA is under a different jurisdiction.
Right. They made a lot. They classified a lot of places as sensitive. The airports, MTA, any
government
building. Which I'm not wholly opposed to, really, in theory. But
you got to hold a gun in your hand and hang out the subway window, just your hand as it travels.
But
that's fine.
You know where it does come in handy though? It may come in handy because you go upstate once in a while. You don't have you can strap it on and drive right through the city. You used to not be able to actually have it on you in the city.
Right.
If
No,
you,
federal law allowed you drive through. We're
Yeah,
hijacking
yeah.
the stream here to talk gun stuff.
Oh yeah,
But,
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
that's all right.
Let's,
But where they're gonna fuck you too is on the ammo. New Jersey already. Does
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, now they put into the new law that they're gonna do background checks on ammo purchases too. So
Well,
it is what it is.
yeah.
But it's not a problem for people that don't choke out their baby mamas.
Right, exactly.
People don't threaten suicide on the internet. Don't have domestic violence problems. Don't those things. The Bradley Unit Bandit.
We're making Wally's a star of a '70s action movie, but he only can kill. He only has less lethal and mace and stuff.
So I mean, look, maybe his friend is down there. Maybe something's blossoming. And that's great. He'll get over baby mama. He'll go a different direction. And look, it might be what
he'll have a big
him...
announcement. He's like, guys.
Yeah. Look, he's saying it now.
I've never been with a man before, but
look, he's saying it now.
Yeah.
He wants to. He's fallen in love with the smell of another man's taint.
All this talk about taints, and I had no idea. Let me tell you, much.
I don't want to be like Wally, but I had a prostate biopsy, and HS, you might know how this goes, but I'll never think of a taint the same way ever again because it gets literally shish kebabbed. You think about women being up in the stirrups and then getting, they should use that for criminals for torture because it's no fun.
So I have diverticulitis, which is like you have stomach. Yeah, now it's like Wally. I'm gonna show up paperwork. But anyway, every now and again, it may be irritated or whatever. But I went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Okay, you're 50. He's like, do you want to get a colonoscopy or this home kit that you just have to shit in a bag and mail it back to us?" And I'm like, I like that option, this shit in a bag.
Yeah,
option.
But here's a little news flash for you. That shit in a bag option, that was just for the doctor himself. That's not a real thing.
It's not.
Well, you haven't done that? I've done that. The colonoscopy thing. I take 10 colonoscopies over a prostate thing. That was the greatest sleep I ever.
Hey, listen. Personally, I pay good money for both. All right, professionally.
So I got this kit and I take it home and I'm like I'm telling my wife and she's a nurse and she's like, oh well, because you have diverticulitis, if you take this test, sometimes you get a false positive for colon cancer because there's blood in the stool. So they're like, you're gonna take this home test and they're gonna give you 7 colonoscopies. I'm like, fuck, I just fucked myself. So that's my old man ass story for this moment of ass stories on Dogpile Thursdays.
When it comes to that stuff, I mean, I walked into the room and I saw the chair with the stirrups and I said, am I in the right place here? And it's like,
yeah, he said turn over.
Only women can give birth. Okay, you're not a birthing person, Slippery.
Oh yes, slide up here, and they put your feet in, and they tape your fucking your cock and balls up to your stomach, and then they go at it. They put the probe in your poopy. And they're looking at the thing, and then they start filleting you in between. But they give you something in between, and they said, "Oh, you just feel pressure." Don't buy that. It's more than pressure. It's horrifying. It's something from the Middle Ages. This stuff.
This is always whenever Wally would talk about his back shit, right? And I mean, I have had like RFA ablations. I've had cortisone injections. It feels like somebody's taking a bicycle pump and inflating my ball sack when they do it. And then I go to work the next day. And Wally, this is what. So all joking aside, not to make light of it, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Like Wally's like, I got a rash on my leg, so I can't work forever. And I'm like, that's what always at the core of it. I fucking hated this guy for.
Yeah.
This is where the whole
you didn't appreciate his half-an-hour videos where he shows you his regimen for cleaning his. I remember on his old channel on when he had 982 videos before it got taken away, and if you sort them by least
that he made
viewed,
in 4 days.
The one that was least viewed was when he was like, "Let me show you what I do to my red leg." Like it had like 22 views. Like
What is that?
everyone just saw the title and was like, "Nope, not even clicking on it."
I like how he always uses like he wants to make it sound like he's really really intelligent, so he uses the real medical term. What do you use? In dosa or dotham or what's that?
Erythema nodosum.
And he uses like the medical terms instead of saying, "Oh, I've got this like red rash thing from the sarcoidosis," because he wants to sound like he knows.
Because he wants a car, he'll say vehicle, right?
Yes.
And on it goes.
They send harassing, threatening, premeditated calls to my leasing office vehicle. He's just stringing words together now at this point.
And when he says
pretenses.
They tried to get me thrown out of my home.
Nobody did.
That is the biggest line of bullshit. And when anybody that's one of his viewers or listeners hears that, they should call him out on it. That's such nonsense. Or just go to Dan's channel and look at it. And it's like a Saturday Night Live skit. Hey, this sounds like a strange question, but
well, I said it before. Like Wally should thank me because I wanted to blow. It was like 4 months of his nonsense. Like I'm the hero of the complex, and everyone appreciates that I shoot in my apartment. And I wanted to blow that out of the water without actually getting him in trouble with the landlord. And that's what I came up with. And he should thank me because uncreative Walter, if it was the other way around, what do you think he would have done? He would have called up my landlord. Do you know that Dan King in apartment 1234 is doing? And here he goes, and he's false pretenses, and like he would have ratted me out immediately. And I'm like, let me give the guy a chance while embarrassing him, and he still doesn't get it.
If I remember correctly, he at one time he said, "I know the owners of the apartment complex very well."
He was friends with them or something.
Yeah, he was friends with the owners. And then like when you finally found out what this was, he's not friends with the owners.
It's a management company.
Management company, and it's owned by some big conglomeration.
Well, the reason I called, I tried finding the video, but I think it evaporated on his gun channel. Well, maybe it was his old channel. But it eventually, it was like a fish story. It got to the point he said, "I'm friends with the landlord, and he's a Trump supporter, I'm a Trump supporter, so I could do whatever I want."
Right.
And
they like that
they also appreciate that I'm keeping up my sharpshooting skills. And the neighbors know this too, and they all know when Antifa and BLM come, because they're coming, I'm all ready with my guns to defend the apartment complex. And that made me, I'm like, all right, I gotta blow this guy's bullshit out of the water, because it's such a fucking yarn. It's like, come on, like, first of all, you're in the South, like everyone else there has real weapons. Like, you're not the champion of the fucking complex. And second, they have their own security. And third, you're full of shit. You don't have any friends. No one likes you. Like, it was such a fucking like yarn. Anyway, that's the reason why I made that video.
To, like this Queen Ma'at, he was on her thing.
Duzang,
do it. Hey,
I haven't heard from that guy in a while.
Yeah. This Queen Ma'at, and I think Dan sent me a link. This guy's going to set up a direct link from each of your bank accounts to mine.
Yeah.
And with this Queen Ma'at, and it's like, okay, like he got into this whole troll thing, and she made a mistake. The big mistake she made, she said, "Well, how are you doing with your trolls?" And then he
pull up a chair.
And
how much time you got?
He's tirading, and he took over the whole thing, and he starts talking, and it's just, okay, maybe we should wrap it up now. And then finally, and then he's like, "Oh, everybody should listen to Queen." Like he's like anybody that shows him this amount of friendship, they're like the greatest person in the world until something happens.
I love that because it's already starting. Like first I went on, and then you went on Slippery, and like during that with me, like. She asked me my name. I told her she called me a fucking liar and threw me off. And I told her in a chat, I'm like, I was telling the truth. You have no integrity. And then Wally came on and said, "Well, Dan's an asshole, but he actually told the truth." So already the seed's been planted that, like, okay, Wally's trolls are honest, and he may not be. They say he's not. And then she's asking him about the trolls. So, in other words, like it's happening. This is the MGTOW world all over again. It's happening. They're asking about the trolls. They're curious. Well, they're listening to him, and they're starting to realize there's holes in the story. It's starting. So, well, get ready. I'm gonna wait for my opening. and come on into the black conservative whatever world you're in.
Where's True Sherm and Baron Yam and all those guys? Whatever happened to them?
I think they got bored with my Dogpile. I get it. It's the same show every week. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just for our
The
fun.
viewership is going down. I get it. I got that one. It was one that's 1,500. I don't know what happened. YouTube broke that week, and then it's always been like.
Even with the Esteban thing, right? He said, "Oh, they tried to drive a wedge between me and my friend," but in his own
it was you. It wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. But
they.
In his video, he says, "Oh, I had words with Esteban." Well, then what I did, then I was successful. But actually, I must have been telling the truth, or ever that you wouldn't have had words. I mean, I'm not just making this stuff out, conjuring it up out of thin air. He was annoyed with him for putting his shit up on YouTube when he said he wouldn't. That's the truth. That's why Esteban was annoyed with him.
I wonder if Wally just lied right off the bat. Like he did that. He told a story where someone from the leasing office went to tell. They asked the lawyer. They asked Wally, "Did you do that thing?" And Wally said, "Absolutely not." But he doesn't specify what exactly they talked to him about. But the leasing office saw the video, so they saw a video. Went to Walter, said, "Did you do it?" And Walter said, So he lied right to their face. So I wonder if he did the same thing to Esteban. If he was like, Esteban's like, "Hey, have you been going on my
well, if Wally pulled the video down, then he's going to say no.
Like I'm wondering if he said I didn't do it and then ran to YouTube and took down the video before Esteban got to see it. Who knows? We're speculating wildly.
Well, actually, we should all.
Hey, speaking of devil.
True Sherm.
Hey,
hey, True. Yeah, it could have been. You never know with him, but yeah. Speaking of the devil, True Sherm. But if you think about it. Think about, like, you guys have been like me when this YouTube stuff, like when we got that from that what was her name, Brown Sugar, Negra, Azuka Negro, whatever, Brown, yeah. So that's when we kind of got onto Wally's whole YouTube world.
Remember when he was like, "And sugar is white."
Well, that was a part of the racist rant when he calls you what he calls my Asian friend, you know what?
Yeah.
And then he was all the racist shit for black people was because of that person. She was like, "Oh, I bet you have Brillo like hair. Oh, I bet your tits hang down below." He did all that vile shit. That was all for her. That part of it.
But think about where that started when we first got in on this, and then started slowly, doing a couple of satirical things, talking about it, yucking it up, making fun, and think about where we are now. We have modified Wally's behavior more than any mental health professional that he's seen in the last fucking 20 years.
And the safety of the complex. He's not shooting fucking shit through his walls anymore.
He doesn't. Just think about this.
But the squirrels aren't safe.
He doesn't cry about baby mama anymore in the kid's bed. He's
I
not
wish
really.
You would. Wow, they cry more about baby. We missed those ones.
Yeah. Those was some of the
I
best.
deserve a second, third, 15th, 92nd chance. I
want my chance.
And if you don't, I'll sue your dad and your entire family unless you come back to me.
He doesn't.
I tried sleeping with my male friend. It wasn't as good as you, baby mama. Come back.
No more shooting. No more shooting in the apartment complex. He's very rarely ever goes on camera anymore to show all his goofy soccer outfits. I guarantee you, the hat with the little pom pom, the little ball,
gone.
Christmas. Oh, done.
Well, he doesn't throw anything out. It's sitting in the closet.
Yeah, no, it'll come back.
Or I'll put it on eBay.
But like what other?
It'd be like a sweaty, used, fucking gross hat.
Like and like, do you think he went with his buddy? Do you think he went through his black evidence book? Like, I'd like to know if he
like to spend the night. Okay, pull up a chair, Kevin Keith.
Here's instead of playing Uno or whatever you do, I guess when you have your friend over, you pull out the black evidence book.
I bet he thumbs it with his eyes closed and then points and he goes, "Oh, this is a good one. This is all about the time I had bipolar type 2, but it's in dispute because I'm fighting it. My doctor's gonna go to jail because he's full of shit. He's full of shit. I don't have bipolar. I don't have bipolar." Like that. He'll do that.
Is there anyone that ever came into Wally's place and with a predetermined view about Wally and was swayed the other way by that book?
No. Of course not.
Well, I talked about it. I'm like, he's shown that to like professionals, and they're like, we're not gonna do anything with that. And he's like, and one he said they suppressed my evidence because he was like, he handed it to like his family court, this big thing. He's like, hey, free lawyer, do you have 873 hours to look through now? And they're like, no, we're gonna. This is boilerplate. You're a terrible dad, and everything's stacked against you, and we're gonna try to get you.
I hereby
Like see your kids
shall
once
not
a year,
and
maybe.
heretofore, that doesn't make it a legal document.
I have no doubt that if Wally gets something, guys, I just got a letter in the mail. Oh, Sherm, you got a?
You got a
did you get
C&D?
your C&D? You got your C&D?
It's a printout. It's a printout of a proton mail, physically mailed, so it's secure.
Emotional damage.
Hey, it's Yam.
Hey, there they are.
Oh, Walter Hilligas. Oh shit! Somebody put that in the chat. I didn't want to say his name.
We'll just blur it out. It's fine.
Yeah, but does anybody think that if I have no doubt in my mind that if Wally gets in like from that 9/11 thing, if he gets anything more than 10 grand, the first day he'll run to try to find some ambulance chaser, shyster lawyer and say, these guys, and like if it's a reputable guy, he'll look at what he has and says, nah, the best he'll be able to do is maybe get somebody to send a cease and desist, and then we can play with that for another year or another year or two, But I don't see it.
Well, even if it is 10 grand, how far do you think that goes in the legal world? Not
far at all. No, it doesn't go anywhere. Wally, you won't make it to discovery on 10 grand.
And then he'll blow it all, and then the next time his boyfriend comes to visit him, he'll be like, I got no money. You're going to have to buy fireworks because I don't have any money. Whoops, I don't know where it went.
I was talking with Dan behind the scenes, and Dan was saying, isn't it convenient of Wally just to set this whole thing up, make a video saying, oh, something came up with the city of Charlotte.
It was like 3 days before the guy showed up. He's like, oh, got a bill.
And unfortunately, my friend's here, and I won't be able to, do anything or, meaning, in other words, you're coming to stay at my house and sleep in my bed and use my toilet. You're paying for everything. You're taking me out.
Yeah, he's like, we could just sit at home in my apartment and eat my food and watch, my television, and you could use my hot water. It's fine. And Kevin is like, all right, yeah, I'll pay for, we'll go to dinner.
Whose music is that?
It's gotta be Hidden.
Yeah, I'm playing with my new toy.
Hidden's just trying to get me a copyright. He's still mad at me about.
No,
I'm sorry,
no
Hidden, about the
this.
time we watched movies. Okay, I'm sorry.
Listen, Hidden, I got to ask you something because you seem like you know a lot about that wacky tobacco stuff, right?
Well, I would imagine I smoke a lot of it.
Okay, so let me just. I probably even shouldn't say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I was up at a motorcycle gathering, and I hadn't touched that stuff since I was a kid. And one of the guys was up there. One thing led to another, and I took a couple hits of this stuff. And I was looking around I thought people were going to try to kill me and get me. What is that? Is that normal to happen?
If you're Wally, it is.
It's not good.
Louis C.K. did a bit. Louis C.K. did he said like he was talking about pot technology in the last 25 years. He goes, the last time I smoked a joint was when I was 20 years old or whatever. He's like, I did a bit, I was at a comedy thing and I did my set and I went out to the alleyway to take a piss because the bathroom was broken. And there were teenagers out there, or 20-year-old kids smoking. And he's like, oh, let me have some. And the guys were like, listen, old man, this isn't like the shit from the 70s.
Yes. Yeah, no,
and Louis is like, whatever. And he's smoking it. And then you described, he was like, oh my God, what's happening? It's 14,000 joints, from the 70s.
No, honest to God, I thought I needed medical intervention. I went inside and laid on the couch. My heart was beating. I thought people were going to try to get me. I felt like the walls were closing in on me. I mean, so that's it. I'm just gonna.
Doesn't sound like fun.
That's normal when you. That's normal when you first start smoking because you feel weird about it.
You got to push through that slippery. That's what he's saying.
Oh, what's your recommendation on that, Hidden?
Once you're comfortable doing it.
Well,
You're
that's not comfortable.
Well, no, because you're worried about
That
it.
was freaking weird. Holy God! I mean,
That's more
I'm not doing that
because
again.
You're already paranoid when you start smoking, so it's not a good idea.
No, I
Just
wasn't paranoid.
Smoke
when
some
I
of that
started,
and then
No, no,
dump
no,
a
you're
bucket of
paranoid.
snakes on you, and that'll get
No.
rid of your
No,
phobia.
what I mean is
I
you're
was paranoid. I
of
was like
people-
looking around corners and peeking around corners.
Right,
It was weird.
because
I
you were
it was
worried
crazy.
about being caught.
You should have live streamed.
Well, who's going to catch
That would have been a
me?
Maga Man move.
I'm 57 years old. Who's going to catch me? I mean,
Right, exactly.
You know,
I'm like,
yeah,
who gives a fuck?
Like if
Yeah.
you start seeing things, that's bad.
yeah, that's
Like-
right.
like
So stay away from
Marijuana
that
is a
stuff.
psychotropic drug, but it
It
does
is-
not make you see things unless you've got issues. So if you start seeing things, you should.
I didn't
not
see
smoke
things,
them.
but I just felt
Right.
like I would say
That's normal.
paranoid,
Yeah, that's
anxious.
normal.
Like I think I had a panic attack. I felt like Wally.
Yeah.
Could that be what it was?
If
Did,
you
did
have-
you
hold it
if
in-
you're
did,
prone
did
to
you go?
panic attacks,
Hey
it's not
everyone,
gonna
I'm
help
I'm
you."
in the middle of a panic attack, and I'm really panicking.
I'm
right
just getting
now,
over a
and-
panic attack. Oh,
And
but
if
it
going
you
was
to
can
the
see
crazy.
my
hospital soon.
hand is shaking, I would like to show you the phlegm on my hand, but it's shaking too much.
That's kind of what I
I
mean
would-
by it.
it
Like
wa-
if
it
you
was
have an
weird.
underlying thing, it will bring it to the surface.
It
That's
just
the
comes right up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it did.
If you have
It-
childhood trauma, it's right
know-
front and center.
It's like when I was a kid, when you're in 8th grade. We're talking 1978. I was in 8th grade, and it's the first time I with this one kid, Tommy and Drizzy. We were down in this place, and you just felt like the first time I had done it. That's in '78. I felt like it was just like relaxed. I was like, wow, like the world is going by really slow. So and like that's what it was like back in those days. Like
And nowadays
then-
it's all.
and then this guy. And then this guy, and like a lot of these guys, they retired from the city. There's no more piss tests or anything. They're like, okay, yeah, it's legal now. What the fuck? This
Yeah.
guy, and I got this Jamaican stuff. We kind of like it's not our thing because that's kind of really not our generation. And I'm like doing this, and all of a sudden I'm like, and I got like I think I had a panic attack. So
I used to smoke in like high school and all through college and all that stuff all the time. And then I grew out of it and stopped.
Yeah.
And then I remember I took it.
I'm Kevin the other day.
Yeah. Well, I'm
took a
thinking,
trip-
let me calm down. These guys just, shish kebab my taint with all these needles. maybe this will, I'm getting older. Glaucoma. They say it's good for. Let me before this train passes me up. Let me see it. But I'm not getting back on. No
Oh,
way.
Come on, man. I'm like
You just
80
gotta
years old.
ease in.
You don't sound like you're 80 years old. You sound pretty young, actually. I think that's a misdirection.
I was at the beach today with my kid, and some guy came walking down. Like he looked like a little bit younger than me. He's smoking a joint, and he's
Everybody's
like, "Do you live
smoking. The whole city's high. all
He's
the
like, "Do you
time,
live
know?
around here?" And long story short, he was like, he was visiting from Michigan, and we were talking. But at one point, he's like, "Do you want some?" I'm like, "No, I'm here with my kid. I got to drive and stuff." And we started talking about like, he's like, "This is from Kentucky. This is like, I almost had some imported whatever." But like I
some of
said, I was
that
with my kid. I had to
weed.
drive for an hour, so.
Oh, talk about everything. When I take my bike to work, I take the Jackie Robinson to the Grand Central to the Northern State out to the Expressway. When you're in the Jackie Robinson and there's traffic bumper to bumper, and I'm like, if I'm cutting between the lanes, you just get these out of almost every second or third car.
Right.
these-
Everybody's high in the city.
Holy
all the time.
Jesus! Wow.
Yeah,
walk
walking to
around by
Penn
my
Station,
office
I
in
used to go
Manhattan.
through clouds, like just like getting
Yeah,
back to the
yeah.
train.
But no, I'm like, I think it's just part of at least for me, you get older. Like I smoked tons in high school and college, and we're talking 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
And at grad school, I kind of stopped. And then I remember I was older and I took a trip myself to Jamaica, which is a whole other story. And I hadn't smoked for like a bunch of years. And of course, when Jamaica, it's like obligatory, like they hand it to you at the airport, right? And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I get to the resort that I'm staying at, and I went to Hito, so that was fun. So there were a lot of things going on there, and I finally like, all right, you know what? I haven't smoked grass in like 10 years. I'm gonna go get high. So I, roll up one of these joints from guy I got from the airport. I was so fucking wasted out of my mind. I passed out in the gazebo. It was by myself. I missed a whole night of fun. I woke up the next morning with like a kink in my neck. I'm like, I can't move. I'm
He
like,
woke up the next day, no wallet, no pants.
Oh,
well, there were no
Wally's-
pants anyway. It was a nude resort.
Yeah,
If-
but if you would have
if-
smoked another joint, you would have been all back to normal.
You just love playing with your toy, don't you?
Yes,
Now,
I
Hit,
would.
do you have a separate gadget, or are you like using your
Yeah.
keyboard? You have a
No,
gadget.
I bought a Stream Deck.
I wanted to play with one of because when Baron Yam made a thing with it was one of Wally's videos with like laugh tracks in the audience,
Oh,
and I
that
was like,
was-
"That's
Mhm.
genius!"
Yeah.
That was classic.
Like baby mama
That was-
left me. Oh, the
Oh.
studio audience.
Yeah, I
Like,
got all that.
That
it
was
was like,
classic.
why didn't anyone else think of this? Genius.
But I can use this for all kinds of other shit too. It's like a macro controller, so I can make it do whatever I want it to do.
I think I want to do one
streams.
with just a keyboard because I don't want to spend any more money on this stupid thing that we're doing. I already got a green screen. This thing was like almost $200.
Yeah.
Worth every penny.
That's what I do. I spend like $200-300 at a pop every so often. Something I want to play with, I'll go out and get it. I don't have kids to feed.
Oh, you're single guy? Oh, you don't want to reveal too much. Yeah.
No, I'm MGTOW, so.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I managed to get out intact. There's no marriage. There's no kids. There's nothing.
Oh, so you were never married?
Rub it in.
I was common.
Oh, you were in a
law.
relationship at some
Yeah.
point. Oh,
Mhm.
okay, yeah. That's I met a
I've
guy
had
one time,
tons
and
of relationships.
before Wally, yeah, of course, yeah. But before Wally, and before Dan and I and HS explored this whole YouTube thing, I wasn't never really into YouTube, and we came, this whole MGTOW thing. Nobody knows what to make of it because I never knew what it was about. But I met a guy, and I'm like, do you know anything about MGTOW? A guy that I know, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm MGTOW. Yeah, and he said, well, I went through a really, really bad marriage, and it was a tough breakup, and and I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to go through that process anymore, and I'm just me, and I'm doing my own thing, and that's it. So I guess that's the maybe that's the Cliff Notes. You know who invented Cliff
Well, no,
Notes?
that's-
though
that's the
it was
whole thing.
Clifford.
Yeah.
Clifford. Clifford.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll say it.
privacy.
Fucking cares.
That's what a lot of people get confused over. It's like you just said that's the Cliff Note version. It's actually the whole thing. There's
Is it really? Yeah.
you just not you don't get married, you don't have kids, and you don't move in with the woman because it
Yeah.
leads to one of the other two.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're shaped by your experiences in life, and I guess that's as valid
Yeah.
as anybody else's.
Now this is my
Experience,
ignorance. Where does the
law,
incel thing
statistics.
fit into this?
Well, it doesn't, and that's the whole
Okay.
thing. Like they're the opposite of what a MGTOW is. Like MGTOW makes a choice to not be with women. Incels say they have no choice.
Okay. So
And
it's
so
like
they're
What do you mean?
church, you
very
can't have
black
sex
pilled.
with women if you're MGTOW?
No, you can have sex with women.
Okay,
Just don't have any babies with them.
gotcha.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Well,
That's why
that's
some
that's
people
a
will
that's a
wanna say,
plan I live
"Oh,
by
you're just a
regardless of
pickup
MGTOW or
artist," and
not.
it's like, no, personally, I don't deal with women at all like that. So
Oh, you don't.
Well, it's
not a
I mean,
feature.
you don't.
It's
but
up
you
to
don't inter-
Jesus whether or not you're going to have a baby. So
but
just
what
don't use
if
birth
you-
Not a
control,
feature of
and
MGTOW,
Jesus
that's
will
all.
decide.
What if your baby mama has rejected you and she's the only woman for you ever in your lifetime, and you'll never ever have another woman except
well,
for
then,
her?
then you're an incel because you can't have the woman you want. You're
Ah, okay.
voluntarily celibate. He's choosing to not be with any other woman, basically, but because of that choice, now he's involuntarily celibate. Like it's a fucked up term. It really doesn't make sense because everybody has two hands at the end of their arms. Most of us do.
Well, I
So, I mean, if
I
you
know a
wanna
lot of
jerk off,
guys that
fine.
I
Celibate
don't know
means
if
you're
you're
not
older
doing
than me or
anything.
younger than
Or if
me.
you want to invite your friend from New York to come stay with you for a couple weeks,
But there
it's
were a
not
lot
gay.
of guys, and I don't know a lot of guys, but there
It's
were a lot
not
of guys that
celibate.
were older, and they never got married or for whatever their
It's not
reason.
being
They just
voluntary,
call
though.
them. We just call them bachelors. They were
Yeah.
just bachelors.
Well, that's what
they
it
never
is,
just,
basically.
yeah, just call them bachelors all the time. I knew a couple of guys never got married. I never.
Some people get into saving money. Some people get into sailing. Some people get into coin collecting. Like whatever
Yeah.
the fuck you want to do, you have the
Right,
money and time
right.
to do it now.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, you
always
gotta
does-
change
he
this
does this
video.
and
I need a new Wally video.
Oh shit!
He's
Wow.
looped too many times.
Well, here we go. Here we go. Right here we go.
You guys can make fun of me and make all the videos you want about me. I don't care.
Oh wait, did I mean to do
Say
this?
what you want. Go and make all the videos.
Oh, I think I put the wrong video up.
Well, how come these disclaimers don't count for anything in YouTube? Like he voluntarily gives you permission to mock him and make fun of him.
Well, I
Like,
think
why-
I do
right,
because I had that was in the beginning of all my dog piles,
Right. So why doesn't
and
YouTube
and-
take that into account?
the only he tried to take down all of them, and only one stuck. And I think it was just like whoever reviewed it, like for whatever reason, like I didn't really. I think I fought it, and I'm waiting for a response. I haven't heard anything. But Yeah, there's one
Did that-
Dogpile. Episode 7 is MIA, thanks to Wally. Everything else is up.
Did it ever like? Did you ever think about like if you're that person, like who is that person like that gets to their desk at YouTube or Google and then like has 1,000 like has a screen, a database of 1,000 of these complaints and has to look at them one at a time? That has to be brain damage work, right? That should be a job for Wally, right? I mean, he could do something like
Easily.
that.
No,
would
because
be
Wally
perfect for it.
wouldn't look at it objectively. He would be like, "Oh, this is a right wing guy, whatever. Oh, this is a gay dude. Pff, God, this is a lefty. Pff, God, like he would just totally be,
But
he
if you
couldn't
think
be
about
objective.
like if you're one of these people that has to review this, like, and I'm sure that they try to be objective, but like you can't really get a full frame of reference. You have thousands of these, and how much time can you devote to like Wally complaining about something? You know what I mean? It's got to be a
No, we talked about it. It's like Wally. Like he's not making any money. He's not monetized. He's not making any money for YouTube. Like but YouTube has to stop what they're doing and look at this guy's nonsense. It's like, at what point does like YouTube like find a way to boot him because he's taken up too much resources and he's not, it's like all for nothing. It's like he makes vile shit. It's kind of like when the guy came to check out Wally's car. It's like Wally has a big like tire cover that's like fuck 95% of the population, and then Wally's like, people keep breaking my windows. I don't understand. Like eventually at one point you're like, you cut them loose. Like they're not worth it anymore.
any human being that has to interact with Wally for there's Babu, for any reason, that's got to be, what's coming. I mean, the stories what you have to endure, anybody for any reason, the police that he's interacted with. Can you imagine having?
Oh, I forgot to, I put that in the description of my show. I actually spoke to a sergeant at CMPD because Wally made a live stream, and Wally's new code for killing people, before it was someone should delete these people. That's
Now take
now
him off the chessboard.
now it's take him off the chessboard.
Yep.
He needs to take him off the chessboard. So Wally made a video. He's like, it was right after Roe v. Wade, and Wally was like, when the sun goes down, it's gonna be a war zone, and I'm ready. I'm surrounded by weapons. If someone comes to my window, I'm ready to shoot. So I called up the equivalent of 911, and they called me back like 10 minutes later. Like, no, it was like an hour later. The woman was like, if someone calls you back from a weird number, pick up. So they called me back, and it was the Wally guy. They're like, I'm Sergeant So-and-so. What did he do now? So they totally, like, and I felt better. I'm like, I'm glad that someone's watching. Like, they're like, oh, we like, because I described to the first person a video, and they were like, oh yeah, we saw that, we're aware of that. So someone at CMPD is like watching Wally. So we're all there's a level of safety net.
But
well, it's definitely a week of victories, like, because Wally had easily 3 or 4 videos taken down this week.
Yeah, everybody was reaching out to me like, I got one, because we've been like flagging like crazy.
Yeah,
and hypocrite Wally's like, oh, that my channel's being like, he did this in spades like a month ago. He was shutting down everybody, and like, did he not think there was going to be ramifications for doing that?
He did it to Baron. He did it to Red Pill in the Wind. He did it to True Sherm. He was flagging all their stuff. He got you too, right?
Yeah, he got my channel taken down.
Hidden's trying to get my channel taken down with all the copyright shit. What are you doing, Hidden?
Just commercials and shit, intros, man.
Oh shit! I remember that commercial.
I do too.
That was the health guy, right? Yeah, he was like, eat your vegetables. This guy.
Jeez.
What do you think is the fastest way though? Like, because I told you I've been flagging his videos. I've been flagging his videos under like hate speech towards a protected group.
That's what I do, but nothing works. Only
copyright is the killer,
only
but he has to mess up and actually use your material.
Well, the privacy one, I think, because I think that's what got me my fastest response.
Privacy, they have to look right away, because you could be, if I put up a picture of your wife naked, like YouTube's got to take that down.
I don't think that gets you. How many privacies before? I don't think there's any correlation to like.
Yeah, privacy doesn't seem to give you a strike. Privacy, like Wally did it to me, and they were like, you have 48 hours to fix whatever the complaint is. Like, you could blur it out. Like, in my case, Wally was like, he used my floor plan, so I blurred it out, like, whatever, the 30 seconds it was in my video, and YouTube was like, if you don't do it, we may take your video down. But I don't know if that happens, if it counts as a strike, because it hasn't happened to me yet.
Yeah, it would.
It would privacy counts as a strike.
If they took it down, it would.
So how many strikes? How many privacy strikes do you get before you lose the channel?
Well, they're community strikes.
Three within 90 days.
No, three period.
Is that copyright or community strikes?
Copyright is 3 within a certain amount of time.
And what is like?
Because I have one, and it's like
same
you got 90
days.
days, it goes away.
Yeah, a community strike is forever. But they give you a warning for each.
Yeah, now like the one that he did a copyright strike against mine, and I disputed it, and then they said, well, it says still under final review. I haven't heard anything, and this is not going back like 3 weeks. You're about the same time. It's in limbo.
I'm guessing Wally, because the next step is you have to prove to YouTube that you're starting litigation. Like YouTube is like, send us proof that you contacted a lawyer and you're doing a thing, and then they put your it's basically like YouTube is like, we're out of your dispute. This is between you and your lawyers, and we're like a third party. But I'm guessing Wally either fraudulently sent them, like Wally did something fraudulent to make it like he's suing us, and he's not doing anything. That's what I'm guessing is happening. But I don't know.
You mean from
maybe
his
YouTube
LLC?
has reviewed it.
Did he send you paperwork from his LLC?
He probably sent them something that was notarized.
Yeah, via email. I got something notarized the other day. I was thinking about Wally. I was actually thinking about doing a bit. I was gonna type up something crazy to send to you, Slippery. Like, just type in like, I, Dan King, am the president of the underworld, and I like all like crazy shit, and then just get it notarized and then send it to you certified mail, and just be like, see, you can get anything done. Like,
you know what?
I am the president of. Is someone urinating? What's happening?
Yeah,
you gotta
your microphone, man.
That's what you do with that stuff. You flush it down the toilet. You're notarized forms.
Hid's dying to press all the buttons on his. How many buttons you got in that thing?
Oh, it's got 15 buttons, but the program has like 1 million sound effects I can click on.
Oh shit! You know, oh, I forgot what I wanted to say, but
see, it's happening to everybody tonight.
Yeah.
What's Sifu's problem, man? Every time I try and talk to the guy, he gets mad at me.
Every time he's like, Maga Man, is that the real you, Maga Man? Like, it's never the real Maga Man.
Well, no, that's what I wanted to say. That's another one of the, I'm surprised because Wally, if he was in his prior to, like a year ago or so, he would have moved heaven and earth to find out who Babu was. But he's kind of like
he's given up.
He's given up on that. That would be something.
I think he's convinced he knows who it is, and he's 100% wrong.
You're not the Brian Wilson crew or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Like
Joey.
He's so far south.
Joey, yeah. He's like, it's Joey.
Remember Joey? Yeah.
It's like I threw Joey out of my house once.
Yeah, I can't even believe how easy. Like I don't know how to make it any easier. I'm not even disguising my voice these days. Like, at this point, I'm just gonna I was gonna have a big reveal, and maybe I'll do it on like a dog pile, where I'll just wear a stormtrooper helmet and take it off or something, just because. Like, I just want Wally to be like, "Oh, is that guy this whole time?" And he's so
no, because he would be like, "I knew the whole time. I was playing 4D chess. I was waiting for him to reveal it. Now crimes, and they must, and false pretenses, and crimes."
Oh, I remember Dastardly.
Oh my god, like Hidden. I swear to God, I just downloaded, like from one of these shady sites. I downloaded all the episodes of this show like last night. And the reason I thought about it was because Slippery described Kevin's he described Wally's friend as Smutly. Because I'm like, do you think that Wally's friend knows what's going on? And you said he's probably a Muttley guy that just like, oh, whatever you want to do, Maga Man. Yeah. Do you want a medal? Yeah. But no one under the age of 35 knows what the fuck we're talking about right now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny because he'll keep alluding to his friend, like, "Oh, my friend's visiting." I'm not going to say who he is. I don't want to reveal anything.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Like, none of us give a shit about it. Like,
Well, I think what's
loved how
happening
he
is
said he wasn't going to post.
I bet Wally's like, I'm not going to make many videos,
Yeah.
Kevin Keith, but then he does. So when he's making it, he feels like he has to acknowledge his friend sitting awkwardly on the couch, like staring at the ceiling. He's got to go, yes, that my friend is visiting me right now. So it's like a little shout out to his friend sitting on the couch.
Babu, before you came in, we were speculating that there might be a romance budding here. There might be something going on. I don't know. Wally might
He's
be hitting
super
a home
straight,
run.
man.
Yeah.
That was a lie.
Yeah, but super straight just means that you're not going to be with a trans person.
Yeah.
Wally definitely has a lot of sexual like gay tendencies,
And like I said, they'll just like in their mind they'll be like, this totally isn't gay. As they're, taking care of each other on the couch.
sucking my dick. That's not gay.
Yeah, this isn't gay, right?
Like, he doesn't get it.
One of them stops to look up at the other one. This isn't gay, right? No, and then they go back to.
This is normal. Everything's okay.
Hey, there's someone out there for everybody, man. Come on, Wally, give it a whirl, man. What else? Wally, how about this? It doesn't cost any money. It's free. It's a free activity.
Yeah, and it might, look, Wally's always talking about his different ways of trying to lose weight. This is, that might burn some calories, right?
Burn some calories. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love his new thing is also he's like Mr. Popular. Like every time he's doing a video, it's like, oh, somebody's texting me again, guys. Hold on, they
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I remember when
guarantee
he would live stream on Facebook, and I was chatting with him. I was a friend of his at the time, but I would purposely text him just so in the middle of his thing it would go beep boop. He had like R2D2 or something, so we would do it just to fuck with him.
My buddy and I would be watching the videos and like we would crack up hysterically, mostly because we were high when we were watching it, but like we would crack up hysterically every time like his phone would go off. Be like, dude, just silence your phone. And he has like the stupidest, like, the R2D2 shit. And like, it just blares over the entire screen. Like
The guy who hates Star Wars now is like, oh, R2D2 is my sound for when I get a text.
Yeah, he has to. If he has PTSD, it's from being such a hardcore, like, Star Wars lover and then getting kicked out of that entire community. Like, that's
Yes.
Like, to him, that hurts him more than anything he witnessed at the 9/12 site.
I bet you he watched the Obi-Wan series hundreds of times. It's all Darth Vader. It's like it's Darth Vader stuff. He's
Why
been
am I
eating
watching
that all up.
the Sea Monster? What the fuck is happening?
Do you think
That's the Croft Family Hour or something, right? Is that the
Sid and Marty Croft?
Yeah, it was either this show or the two girls. It was like Dinah Woman and something, right? Kid knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Deidre Hall.
It would be one or the other. Sometimes, most of the time, it was Sigmund.
Do you think Wally showed his house guest his Gina Carano doll?
He has it on the shelf.
What do you think?
He has the shelf of things that piss off the liberals. It's like the potato heads and Gina Carano.
They're playing hide the doll. They're taking turns with it.
Right, like did he show him the pussy torso, or is he like tucking that away in the closet?
Oh, the child size sex thing. Whatever.
Oh, I bet he showed that within like
disturbing.
15 minutes of the guy showing up at the house.
They-
He's like, check this out.
He probably asked him if he would help him oil it up.
Wally probably shook it and said, "I've never fucked this thing. I've totally never." And he's shaking it, in a like whatever. He's like, "I've never actually put my penis in this thing at all. Let me just show it to you."
It's a
It was for
virgin.
Big J Triple X. I've never done anything to it.
That's ISIS? What the hell is happening? I'm flashing back to my childhood now.
I'm trying to trance you.
This is some 70s shit.
Dude, I think I'm high for you. What the hell?
Hey, so Babu, have you watched any of Wally's interactions with his new group of conservative black friends?
I can't the only one I could catch him on is that Queen Mahat one, but I don't know if he goes on. But dude, she's a fucking nut. Like she's out there.
Wally fits right in with that crowd.
Yeah, and I, quote unquote, I left comments like during the live stream about like how like Wally's a psychotic person, and she just doesn't acknowledge it at all.
Has she blocked you or no?
No, because I, quote unquote, will show up as somebody else, But and I'll just leave a comment like, hey, why don't you ask Wally about the time he got arrested for assaulting his wife?
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Dan, did
Oh,
you
was
send
that
me-
was that you? I was wondering.
Was
Was
that?
that?
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. I saw that.
That's
but
great.
You see, like,
Oh,
it
that
was,
was.
it was either
Damn.
Donald Halbert is me because Donald's his brother's name, and then Donna is his other sibling or whatever his name. So anytime it's like a Donald or Donna, that's me.
Yeah, I saw that because they were wrapping up the show, and Wally was like, "Yeah, so everyone check out my channel and subscribe." And you could tell he was reading the chat, but he didn't want to bring it up because he learned from the MGTOW days. Because the MGTOW, he would be like, "Can you see everyone look at the chat there?" He was just like, "Yeah, just he didn't even acknowledge it." I thought it was a riot.
No,
Yeah, but-
and then she says, "Oh yeah, check out Maga Man's channel. Really good content." And even if you were inclined to agree with anything that he says, you
She's
think that's
not
really is that good content?
She's
There's
never
nothing-
watched a single video of his ever.
I mean, the best content that I've seen that he's put out in probably the last 6 months were maybe the Freddy sweaters because it was
Oh my God,
at least
that was
something different. But it was again cringeworthy.
It was mildly informative if you're into that stuff, you know. But all the other stuff, the way he sees things, even in a political world, like we talked about it before, like he can't make a political argument because it's always like they want your kids to be fuck toys to fondle, and it's like, what are you talking about? Like, no, I'm sure no government official is like, we should fuck children. Like, no politician has ever said that ever.
like
Wow.
Uh-oh, hidden triggered.
the Supreme Court like reversed Roe versus Wade, and that's why now you can't get any formula for your babies because they're trying to punish mothers. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Or the gas prices are to drive you
Oh,
out
the
of your
Bugaloos.
car.
I totally had a thing for the girl in pink when I was like
The
7 years
Bugaloos?
old.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she was like super hot to 7-year-old Dan. I think it was she had like an English accent. I think they all had
She's
English
super hot to
accents.
47-year-old Dan. What are you talking about?
Well, now she's probably like in her 70s. You know, you
Land
don't want
of
to
the
think
lost.
about that.
Hidden, how old are you, man?
83.
Hidden will never
Yeah,
tell. I think
that's-
I think
I don't
once
buy it,
Hidden
no.
leaked his age, I think I know. I'm not going to say it, but I think I know.
He doesn't give up any clues at all, man. Like I've never seen the guy camp out. Like his name is probably hidden, like Lily on his birthday.
That'd be
I'm a
cool, like
camper.
Sting. Like he has one name, like Bono. He's just hidden.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and like Wally's channel, like it's not even like political or current events anymore. It's anything just to tie in.
It's hate. It's like the gays are coming. I was gonna do a video, but there's so much to do. But one of my video ideas is Wally keeps talking about the gay black utopia that's coming, and I was
Yeah.
gonna do a whole video about. I'm like, actually, that sounds pretty good. Like, let's give it a try. Let's see what the gay black utopia is like. Maybe it'll be like, what's that, Wakanda? Maybe it'll be like this beautiful like technological wonder. Like, let's give it a try.
More likely.
Emotional damage.
Oh, I had that toy.
Toy.
I totally had it.
Hey, Jinx. So did I.
I feel like mine had 3 though. Maybe I didn't have. I had a different one.
I used to make those toys in the factory.
And the planes
Mine,
were
mine. The
they were
top
foam
looked
kinda
like an aircraft carrier. Like it had numbers on it, and it had 3. Maybe I had that. I don't know. I'll have to look mine up. But I had
that
something like
Evil
that.
that.
Knievel thing that you rev up.
Oh, I had one of those.
Yeah, everyone
I
had
remember
that.
those,
Yeah, you pull the thing.
Yeah.
I think that's going to show later.
I remember there was a whole genre of toys with just those things, and they would like have a rubber wheel under it, and they were different cars, and you would pull it, and they would just run
Right,
around.
mine was like a plastic thing, and I cranked it up, and then
That was
let
the
fly,
Evil
and then
Knievel.
Oh,
one,
that
I
was
think,
you.
yeah.
That was an add-on. Instead of the strap, you could put it in that thing, and that was like you could buy that
Crank
as
it up.
well. That was a whole other thing.
I remember having this as a
Yep.
kid. This plane my aunt bought it for me. It was called a Superstar, and it would run on a battery, and it would fly around. It was like I remember at the time. For
Oh, on
some
a
reason,
string.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah.
it was like $20, and back then $20 was like freaking a lot of money for a kid's toy.
They don't make those anymore because like kids have been blinded by that, like to get a propeller in the fucking head.
Right.
Bang.
Well,
yeah.
And Wally would think that was like a leftist plot, right?
Oh yeah. There was some kind of right.
You should be able to eat your meat and buy your guns and
Yeah.
take your eye out with lawn darts.
Don't eat those insects and tree bark, guys.
I sometimes I try to wonder Like, how? Who's telling you who to suck, fuck, or fondle? Nobody.
Well, he keeps on holding up
Yeah,
Agenda 21, and he's like, they want you to, and it probably says something about like, it's probably like work. What do you call it? Not determination. Work. When they don't allow you to work based on.
Discrimination?
Yes, thank you. Like, I'm sure that's what it is, but Wally's like,
Hey,
there it is.
No, that's the best. You know, we kind of
you
had
it was
this
coming.
conversation at work today, right? And we were talking about like years ago when you were a kid.
Oh my God, what's that?
I
You-
never
you-
saw that before.
Oh, I never saw that.
That was the rich kid. Oh my God, it's got a parachute. That's the coolest toy ever. There's a crank thing.
There's a crank.
Yeah,
What's the
crank
thing?
I had. I didn't-
Oh,
I only
that's
seen
the rocket car that he crashed and almost
Yeah,
died. They got a lot of nerve making that
Oh,
toy.
that was Snake Canyon thing. Remember
Yeah,
that?
he like almost died. They're like,
Oh,
yeah,
look at
evil
that. Like-
Knievel.
Ah.
Look, he died, everybody. He broke every bone in his body. He has hepatitis C. Look.
Oh shit!
Oh,
it's
that's
the
one of
grape
those
ape.
purple-haired freaks.
The grape ape.
Oh yeah, this Harambe-looking knuckle dragon,
It's
Skin
funny,
man.
purple gorilla.
every time I see somebody with purple hair, I immediately think purple hair freak.
Wally is in your head.
Wally
Don't
did
let
that.
him near your car. Just kill them without even thinking about it, Babu. Just don't even
Vehicle.
think.
Vehicle. It's not
When
a
they're
car.
near your vehicle.
Well, Wally doesn't understand fundamentally. Politicians' job is to develop public policy that they believe they get elected to believe will be best for the overall good. And some people agree with that, and some people don't. But he thinks because somebody or some group has a policy that he doesn't agree with, it's some kind of conspiratorial plot to take away your hamburger so you can't have a hamburger anymore. And it's just ridiculous. That's completely ridiculous.
Look, it's Wally at a backyard party.
Oh, does he have a
He did a
propane
cannonball.
tank?
Well, he did a cannonball.
Did a cannonball into the ocean.
Oh, that used to twist his
But
balls.
that's therapy. Come on. Yeah, he
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of stopped with that. What happened with that?
yeah. He got it.
It's therapy, Kevin.
A swimming.
And
party.
get a real proper jersey, okay? You got the wrong soccer jersey, idiot.
Nobody wears that one anymore.
What are you, descended from slaves? Fucking idiot.
Oh, he stopped with it. Yeah. What's with the tribal warrior stuff? I mean, he
It's
hasn't gone back.
The man of a million loose ends.
That's my
right?
favorite. I use it at the
Yeah.
beginning of this show, that music, that boom.
Yeah.
That's great.
He was on that for a while. On that kick for a while.
He still
also
wears the
changed the
double
intro.
cross, though.
Now he doesn't do the circus thing anymore. Now it's
No.
back To, I wonder
he
why.
He went back to the music that he did when he had the channel where he displays all his pop guns, and it starts with like
Yes.
he fans over them and he plays that upbeat music.
That intro was actually, I like
thought
it
it
in one
was
of my
good.
videos. I'm like, that's a pretty good intro for
Yeah,
like,
I
you
thought
know,
it was good too.
it's a low budget. You did
That's-
it, you know.
That's
But
the
he
other
can't.
thing.
He can't stay focused. He's got to.
He had-
Hey
remember-
guys, check out this gun. It's good for shooting trolls and Antifa and BLM. They're coming.
Remember, he made those long videos, like my 3-part series on how to clean
Part
an air,
6.
an air gun that
Yeah.
doesn't get contaminated by any powder. So he's like taking apart things, and then
He had gloves on, and it's like him scrubbing apart. Wow.
And it was like if you owned one of those and you shot it 1,000 times, you still wouldn't have to clean it. I
Right.
mean,
it's air. It's air. It's well, it's
But
bull
even so, he
chop.
stopped making
You
those.
got to worry about bull chop.
No more,
guys.
no, nothing anymore about less lethals, and that was, that used to be actually one of the
There's
when I
so much you could talk about less lethals. That's new. Like
No, I rooted for him, and he's
Is
gonna,
he
he
gonna
swears
smoke?
on his kids and his friend Kevin that
He's on the
he's
phone.
going to get
He's driving a
revenge.
car.
That's
I
why-
actually had
oh, that was a good one.
Is he gonna
Oh, we
smoke?
were talking about Lance Link. There he is.
Come on, man. Pull out a cigarette and smoke it.
Oh, I remember her. She was like, Lance, hello, Lance.
Oh, look at
Well,
this.
They can't make shows like this anymore because PETA won't let them.
Good.
Before Wally was waiting to get his housing and stuff in order before suing you guys. Then it was he was waiting for this money to come in before suing you guys. So what is he waiting on now?
I think
He
that
doesn't
potential
wanna
tax
say-
settlement- right.
But he's gonna strike when the time is
Yeah,
right.
he just says
Like
when the time
like a
is right.
snake.
What the? Like, when is the time right? Like, it's a stupid lawsuit
Well,
anyway.
I got no
Ali
money for
Assassini.
fireworks, so and lawyers are a lot
Oh,
more than
Wang Fu.
fireworks, guys.
Oh, that was the
So
greatest. That was the other great thing. He's like talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna watch fireworks later. Then he puts up this video. He's miles away from where these fireworks are. They're like so small.
well, he's
Like,
also like, we're in the free South and we could shoot
Yeah, we can-
fireworks. Well,
yeah.
not on the complex because we'll get in trouble.
Has-
But otherwise, yeah.
But he bitched
Yeah.
about New York. He's like, and you can't own fire. Yeah, because we're on fucking on top of each other, asshole. And
Yeah, but also like I was talking to Kevin, like I have shot fireworks every year in New York since 1973,
Right, well, it looked
and
like
like no
Fallujah
one's
from my
ever
roof
said
deck.
anything to me ever.
They were doing
Remember-
fireworks on the block I was hanging out.
The
legit-
cops drive
literally
by
on the
and
block.
they don't fuck with you, you know.
Yeah, it's one night only.
Everyone will stand back. There's like a pile of like smoking old fireworks in the street, and everyone just stands there and looks at the cop like, we're not doing nothing, and the cop drives by, and then you go back out there. That's New York and the 4th of July. Like that, you know, Wally, come on, idiot. And he knows that too. He knows that the cops don't fuck with you.
Exactly. He knows the same thing about the bodegas, that bodegas are cool
Right.
places. It's like a meeting place of town. It's a cultural thing. And he just tried to vilify the whole thing because
Or
he
if
misses
you like
it.
need bread, if it's like 11 o'clock at night and you realize you don't have any milk for the kids' breakfast tomorrow, bodega to the rescue. You walk down the block and boom, there you go.
It's like the Wawa or the 7-Eleven
Right.
of Manhattan in the city.
And again,
It's
you
a
gotta remember,
convenience store.
Wally remembers bodegas of 6 years ago. Like, bodegas now are not the way they were 6 years ago. Granted, they still have, like, some of the paper on the wall, and you'll find the cat hanging on the counter. But it's like,
Cats are always great
But
in the
that's
food store.
part of it.
That's you
part
go
of
to
it.
like, there's a cat in a food place. That's fucking a riot.
Did you guys ever see the
the people
SNL
are
sketch,
friendly.
Bodega Cat?
Yeah, like, it's not a bodega if there's no cat. Like, you
Right.
gotta have the cat. And,
Be like,
the
there's a box of crackers and there's one thing of crackers and the cat's curled up in the box, like on the cracker. Like
Did
that's
you
a
ever see the
bodega.
SNL sketch, though? Bodega Cat about the no, it's Bodega Bathroom. It was with John Mulaney. Look this up. I'm telling you when you're done. It's actually hysterical.
Oh, hey,
John
buddy, what's up?
Mulaney and one other guy goes
What do you
into
want?
a bodega, and the premise is Pete Davidson asks to use the
Oh, Pete-
bathroom, and they're like, "You want to use the bathroom in the bodega?" And it turns into this whole crazy musical number. It's I'm telling you tonight. Google this damn thing. It's hysterical. It's like it's so funny.
What's it called again? I'm gonna write-
Bodega bathroom. If you type in SNL bodega
Oh,
bathroom,
it's okay. All right.
I mean it's quintessentially a New York thing. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean it's funny, but becoming from New York, it's particularly because you would never go into a bodega and ask to use the bathroom. You know,
No.
Well, you gotta buy the cheapest thing and then
Right,
they let
but
you in.
John
maybe.
Mulaney is hysterical and Pete Davidson's hysterical, and then they did another one where like lobster in a diner, where like you would never go, like you go into a diner
not
like
gonna-
2 in the morning, and they're like, why is there a seafood section in this menu? You're like, and Pete Davidson's like, yeah, I'll have the lobster, and John Mulaney's the waiter, and he's like, you want the lobster? And it's like nobody's ever ordered the lobster before.
right.
And then it
right.
turns into this whole Les Mis musical number with the lobster. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's
Right.
so many things that are like uniquely New York, and now like not to shit on Carolina because there's plenty of beautiful places.
It's
But when you
different.
look-
That's all.
Yeah, but like he talks about like, okay, so where he is, you can't go into a bodega. Well, that's a shame because a bodega is an experience. So he's like, oh, but we have Walmart. Yeah, okay, that's
A
it's
mom
like,
and pop Walmart, right?
yeah, the mom and pop Walmart. Okay, so you can buy a lot of products. They're all made in China, very cheap, and they bring it to the masses for a cheap amount. There's something to be said about that too. But still, it's not a bodega. Bodega has character. Walmart doesn't.
He knows that. He was just being his racisty, bullshitty self.
Yeah, it was shtick. He was trying to do shtick, and he thought it was funny. But Wally's, as we've all agreed, Wally doesn't have a sense of humor, or his attempt at humor is just it's just cringeworthy. It's absolutely cringeworthy.
Babu,
is the
when are you
video
going to break
that
more
Dan made
videos
me
out of the
But it's
vault?
funny because he tries to say, yeah, back in the day, it was called Deli. And do you know what Deli stands for?
No, no one knows what deli stands
No,
for.
no, we
dipshit.
could have never
Yeah,
figured.
like,
Fucking guy.
he's like, herein the stupid over here. He's like giving us like non-information about bullshit.
Well,
I
now
know,
it's
what
like
was his
Wally,
point with
but
that?
Wally's videos are all about it's euphemisms for jealousy. He wants nothing more than to go to a fucking bodega in Queens, but he
And did you
can't.
realize delicatessens were Jewish? You're like, but in nature. So like, what was his point in that? I don't care, but what was his point? Like,
Yeah,
what's the difference between a bodega and a delicatessen?
Yeah, that's a good.
No, they have German delis. There's German delis. Proud
They were German
Germanic
Jews.
warrior delis.
They were German Jews before we all got marched off to pizza ovens.
Yeah,
Okay,
a lot
I'm gonna,
actually, a lot. Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna give you a little treat. I'm on my way to some place, but I'm about to pass Wally's old home where he lived. Let me see if I could cam up and
Oh
put
yeah,
it on.
you sounded like you were. Oh, are
He
you
doxed my parents' addresses that I talked about numerous times on my channel.
Oh, the one
Press
that showed-
crimes.
where he was
What do you
reminiscing.
think? Do you think that's gonna get you to a strike if I show it?
No,
on
no,
camera?
no, 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 no.
No,
I
it's
don't
Queen.
think.
Well,
No, YouTube would be like blur out the 3 seconds that is
What
the
are you in,
things on there.
in Glendale or?
You're not showing his
No, no, no,
apartment.
I'm
You're
in-
allowed to
I'm in the-
fucking broadcast where
Yeah,
you
no,
are.
I like that, but that's what YouTube would do. They'd be
Go
like,
ahead,
blur out the
Wally-
whatever.
It might trigger Wally. He might have a panic attack and get sad
PTSD.
because in some of his videos, remember he said, to be quite honest, I miss New York. All the food and the
Oh,
food
he
truck.
100% misses New York.
Oh, absolutely he does. Absolutely he does.
He posted a video, but it's more nonsense. NYC Mayor Eric Adams' aide gets robbed at gunpoint.
Again, it's anything. Just his content isn't political or current events. It's legit anything he could tie in to say New York is the worst place on earth.
Right.
Like, I like
That's
when
what
he
was
says-
saying before. He could talk about Chicago. He could talk about Portland. He could
talk about
any
Charlotte.
number of- Yeah.
He can talk about Charlotte. He can talk about place, like in Mobile, Alabama. Some of the places in the South have some of the worst crime. Memphis, Tennessee. Some of these
Right.
places have terrible crime rates. So it's not. He tries to make this. He tries to make this a leap of faith that it's in big blue cities. There are red cities too. It's just cities are so densely populated. You have so many people. There's going to be more crime. It's just a fact of life.
Well, if
I mean,
they
that's
all
just the way it
voted,
is.
if they all voted for Trump, then it would be a
Yeah. All right.
utopia.
Yeah.
Or Curtis
It-
Sliwa.
The crime would just evaporate.
This is the video that Dan made me watch of Maga Man playing guitar with his band.
Oh,
Babu and I tricked Hidden into playing Engine of the Sun.
Yeah, I really.
We're like Google Engine of the Sun. He's like, why? No reason.
Yeah, I was really shocked by that because I thought Hidden knew who Engine of the Sun was.
Everybody
And he was
knows
actually-
Engine of the Sun.
Engine of the
he started-
Look at
Sun.
these
Yeah, he
people
started
really love
Googling it, and I'm
Look
like,
at
oh
this
my
guy.
God, he's doing
having
it.
a seizure. Fuck. Oh yeah, and people are buying drinks.
Oh, but
I'd
Wally
love
had
to
that
see.
too.
I'd love to see the outtakes of just like the apes just shitting themselves.
No, they'd be
Throwing shit
beating
everywhere.
them.
And another one just
terrible.
turns to another ape and just like bites his ear off in his blood. Cut! They got to clean up the set.
Smashes him with the guitar.
Remember when Wally said he was on a bench at a courthouse and his body just started convulsing?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that
That's
mean?
just
But
That
he's
was
all
the way
eager
trying
to
to get
take
pictures.
everyone to court because that wouldn't happen the next time he goes to court.
Well, I think the insinuation was, they weren't going to accept his black book of bullshit as evidence, and
Right.
the court wasn't going the way he thought, where he would get to stand up with them, like Perry Mason moment, like
Yeah.
heretofore, Your
I
Honor,
object.
and just throw legalese at the judge. And,
Yeah, he
and
don't
so-
have two nickels to rub together, and he wants to go to court with some court-appointed lawyer that he thinks is going to be going to be the next Johnny Cochran for him, and give him the black book, and he's going to. It's not going to happen. I mean, it's just,
They're gonna make Wally put Freddy gloves on and they don't fit.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you must have quit.
These lines don't match the lines on her
oh,
neck.
and,
They're-
right. That segues into doesn't he have some new Freddy gloves commissioned? I mean that there should be an unveiling soon, an unboxing, right? When he does his.
Well,
doesn't he have
in the costuming world, it's not uncommon that like you
Yeah.
say, okay, make me a thing, and it's like years before you get the thing. And sometimes the guy just like will disappear with your money too. Like it's a crapshoot, like getting costume shit.
I remember Babu put up the video where he was talking. I think it was Babu with his Freddy gloves, and he had like 2 or 3 of them, and he's like, "I got this one in case that one
Yeah,
gets."
yeah.
How do you overuse it? How does that? You just have it on your
He
hand.
masturbates with it.
Well, also he assumes 90% of the population is going to be like, oh, well, you're wearing a Freddy 4 sweater, but the Freddy glove is a Freddy, like Freddy 2 glove, like moron. Like no, everyone's gonna see your Freddy Krueger. Like no one's gonna scrutinize the fucking glove, idiot, moron. Not to mention he's got a big old beer gut. Like you want to talk about being an accurate Freddy? Like lose about 70 pounds. Like Freddy was a thin fucking dude.
He's like what
Moron.
was the guy Paul England? He was like 5'4" and he was very thin. And then you got this 6'2" big dope with his big beer belly hanging out.
Do you think he would try to do like Make a Wish or something like that?
Oh, he tried to do a privacy thing on. I remember there was that video that Babu put up where Wally's doing like
it's a man in costume. He's like, it's me.
He's doing
Prove it.
His goofy white guy dance, and then I said it to his rap.
Yeah.
He tried to do a privacy thing on that, but they rejected it. I didn't even have to do anything.
Ooh, low monthly payments on approved credit. Call Wally.
It's not even a zip code. I mean, an area code, rather.
That's when there was only 7 phones in the entire world.
There's got to be a 3:00 in the morning ambulance chaser commercial
Wow,
about. Do you have sarcoidosis? Were you at the World Trade Center from 9:12 to 9:12 and a half?
Lawyers are standing by. I wonder if you call that number now, what'll happen.
Which area code?
Yeah. Do you think Wally showed his house friend guy? You think he showed him the Purple Heart? You think he broke out the Purple Heart? He must have, right?
In the cabinet with his other 9/11 shit. I'll bet you it is.
Well, I made one of my videos. I said, Wally, if you display that thing, that's total fucking stolen valor. Because someone comes to your house for the first time and they're gonna think you're a fucking soldier. So don't put that shit up. So I don't know, not that he listens to me, but like maybe like some sense like went into him. Like maybe Dan's right. If I hang this on my wall, I'm gonna get in a fight with somebody.
A real Purple Heart bears the name on the back of it of the person to whom it was awarded. So Wally's has some Purple Heart if it's an original with some guy's name on the back of it. And I mean, I've read stories where like people have bought them in yard sales or whatever, and then try to track down a family member and giving it back. Wally, give the thing back because the scale that gave it to you, or that you bartered off it from, or you gave him a can of Dr. Pepper for it, give it back, or give it back to its real owner.
Oh, that's
live.
Is that the Olympic pool?
Oh my God!
Oh, Wally!
Oh.
Yay!
Oh my God!
Oh, that's awesome! Check it out. Look at that horrible
That's
place.
That's the small apartment that he says he had.
Oh my God! What an awful, horrible place! Holy Jesus!
Well, it fluctuates. It used to be a horrible, terrible place when Wally wants you to feel bad for his upbringing. But when he talks about like how he was the cool cat in the neighborhood, then it was the place to hang out. He had a pool. Everyone came over. They loved him. They had food, and it was the best thing ever. Depends on what audience he's trying to placate.
Babu, you even said that his parents were cool, right? They were cool people.
They were great. I mean, they're a totally different person than whoever Wally described him at. But
I mean, that's maybe before Mom started popping Xanax. Maybe
killing rubber bands.
Or maybe like Wally was just such an asshole. Like they're like, dude, like I'm sick of our son. Like he's kind of a dick. So let's just like be a dick to him because he deserves it.
Oh, fun fact: the kid in the cartoon Hin's playing became a severe, crazy alcoholic. As a youth when he was in this show, because the show was all fucked up. And then he grew up to be a huge alcoholic, and I think he committed suicide. The end.
Oh.
The kid in the boat, yeah.
Wow.
Sorry to ruin your childhood for you.
Well, that was my early adulthood, but yeah.
Is this Lidsville? Oh no, this is a different one.
Same guy.
Lidsville was the same, yeah, it was like almost the same shit. Lidsville,
Sid
everyone
Marty
was hats.
Sid and Marty Croft. We'll make a show out of anything. We can make puppets out of garbage. Let's go. They look so garbagey.
Yeah, the kid getting pulled out of water. Apparently, like he was drunk on set a couple times, and he's like 14. I was like, ooh. But it was the 70s. They're like, just give him some coffee.
Yeah, it's funny. So every time like I think of Wally's place and I think about that pool, I'm thinking this guy had a fucking pool growing up in the middle of the city, which is it's rare. Like how many people have a pool in the city? And this guy has the nerve to say that the apartment was shitty. The apartment was huge. I remember house parties there, and he keeps talking about his one of his close friends who lives in the same building complex. The house was huge. Like we had like full blown all night parties in the house with tons of people in it. Like I don't know why this guy thinks like everything was so bad. He had a really good.
Because he
a lot
was
of
telling a
opportunity.
story about how I grew up in a log cabin and had no running water. It's like he's trying to who the fuck knows. He lies through his teeth so much. He'll look you right in the eye and just fucking lie, and it's so fascinating and irritating to me.
And so I wonder if his like friends in Carolina, they hear his New York stories and they probably never been to New York, so they're like, "Oh my God, this sounds terrible." But you're so lucky you left.
I doubt any of that. I bet all of them know that he's just a full of shit, like YouTube nut job, and they just like hang out with him, and they probably change the subject, like because Wally will start fixating.
How many drunk nights do you think Wally has where like he just starts complaining so much where he gets like to the point of tears, and then his friends have to console him and be like, "Dude, it's okay."
Sorry,
Well,
guys,
we talked about it before when he was when he had the Super Bowl party, and he was like everyone's gonna come over for some food, and then he made the video. He's like, "Oh, I got such good friends. They came over and they ate my food and drank my beer, and they'll always be there for me whenever I have a crisis at 3 a.m. My new friends will totally be there because they had my beer." Like he was set up his friends to like, I'm gonna be over there 4 a.m. crying. Get ready.
Yeah, not like those assholes in New York who call me brother, but they don't know a brother. Like, dude, come on.
Chimeras.
Yeah, everybody's fine to you in New York. Everybody was kids. One, he was like overly dramatic about everything. Where everybody's like, "Dude, we're just trying to like be kids and grow up and figure out our lives." And you're like being this emo person and depressed about every little thing. Like, dude, like grow a pair of balls. And
Even then, he was doing it.
Dude, everybody just got so sick and tired of his constant whining that imagine getting to the point where people don't even want to deal with you anymore. They rather just try to avoid you and purposely make plans to avoid you.
Well, imagine your own parents saying, "All right, fuck our kid, right? We can't talk to you anymore."
That's
what
bad,
kind of person do you have to be
Yeah.
that your own sister goes, "I don't want you at my wedding"?
Yeah.
Or your brother
Wow.
says,
And your
"I can't
parents like, "Oh, you're homeless and it's December. Go sleep in your car."
Yeah.
Even though we have a spare bedroom, like go
Man.
sleep in your car in front of the YMCA.
Yeah, really.
What a piece of shit. He must have Jones barbecue and foot massage. Jones,
I mean, even Jeffrey Dahmer's mother said she still loved him. I mean,
Right.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's a difference between Wally and Jeffrey Dahmer.
She
Jeffrey
said I'm a
Dahmer's
scam
mother
artist.
still loved him. Oh, yeah, right.
Well,
And
there
she-
was a weird love. Like I remember on Facebook, like something must have happened in Walter's life where he made up with his mom because suddenly his mom was looking at his posts, like Wally would post
Right.
something, and she was like, "Oh, my son, oh, how's it going?" And Wally's posts were kind of neutral. Like they must have had a conversation, like Wally, instead of politics and the 9/11 crowd, and like, why don't you just say, you went down to the shore the other day and you were looking at the ocean, like post that. And it was like there was like a week of that going on, but then Wally blew it. And I remember his sister too would chime in and be like, "Oh, what's going on, bro?" Whatever. Like they must have had a family thing and they patched things up, but it blew up within a month because all of a sudden the family disappeared. They weren't friends anymore or whatever.
I remember a Facebook. Oh, I'm sorry.
He probably lied to them and said he was either getting help or something like that, so they were probably really proud of him. And then they found out he was full of
right.
shit,
Something
and-
happened.
Yep.
He needs more help. I think he does. I think he does get something, but he should get more. Whatever he's getting, get
Do
twice
you
as
really
much,
think
Wally.
you see somebody, he gets some kind of therapy or some kind of
I think
intervention?
with his suicide, they probably made him do it, or he got free stuff, and he probably had to do it, right? Like, is that what happens if you're suicidal? They're like, okay, you got to check the boxes. So he probably got something, because I remember right after that he was making video after video, going, "Oh, this happened to me." Like he would go to therapy and then make a video and talk about it because that's normal.
Because you can actually you can actually hear in the one video that you played where he says where he starts talking, I just get the Julia Child. You get a whole run up of like really, and he starts to get angrier with each adjective that he calls you, and he's like, "Oh, Dan, this greasy haired, the whole
I love it.
the whole thing." And then he said, and Julia Child too. and I feel fucking like a redheaded stepchild. I mean, I've worked pretty hard on this.
He always circles back though. He always circles back.
Yeah.
Why
yeah.
is he?
Well, he-
I mean, look, you guys do these videos mostly, right? But Babu clearly is like a strong contender for like the number 3 spot.
Well, I've really slowed down on it because it's just I mean, but I'm gonna it's like all of life.
And I'm here like
Cycle.
Charo on the Love Boat as like a special guest star every episode. You know?
Well, every few months, Wally refreshes the list. He goes through all the Star Wars guys. He mentions, and then like he'll bring up your name Hebrew. Like, but that's few and far between. Like,
And
once every couple
I want
months.
him to get my I'm out here, man. Wally, fuck you. Come get some, man. Whatever.
Does that make Dan Captain Stubing and like Babu is Isaac?
I feel like we like it depends on what you know.
Yeah,
And Wally keeps doing this. Wally, we all have seen that like there's a combination of words that will make Wally cry, and that's Wally's perspective on life. So
he's like the Winter Soldier.
He's still trying to figure out. He's like, I'm going to tell Dan and Kevin a combination of words, and they're just going to be reduced to like sobbing. You know, they're going to be in the embryonic position on the floor. And there's nothing he can do, but he keeps trying. He'll be like, "Oh, your wife's ugly. You can't." Charles Manson. Julia. It's like it's not gonna work. We just laugh. We'll change our screen name. Like nothing happens. Wally, you can't.
In his I think it was his latest video, like because we saw that like the one about the shooter in Highland Park, right? That he had the whole title on, and like you said, probably people were looking to get some insight in and Googled that, and his probably or YouTube searched it and it came up and it got a lot of hits. It went kind of viral, right? So he mentioned in passing, he's like, and from that he picked up like 50 subscribers from that whole thing. And he's like, oh, I'm sure my trolls are going to be so mad about it.
Like why like it just ruins the video. Like
no, yeah, right. I'm not mad about it. I'm just like I'm kind of happy that like people went to this and it's like they saw that he adds absolutely no gainful insight into anything. He's just another jerk
and then goes
ranting.
into his personal YouTube nonsense.
The next
for no
video got
at all.
780 something.
Yeah, which is
good. And then his next two, I was just looking at the numbers right now, went back down to his usual Wally levels. So we went from 5.4K right to the viral one, the 783. The 65.
Wait, you're talking about Wally's videos got that many views?
Yeah.
One of those videos went viral. Thing went viral recently.
No, he's paying for views. There's no way. There's no way that people are watching it. Like you don't jump from 30-something views to 5,000 views. He's paying for them.
I think, and we talked about before, my Brett, because he was one of the first people to maybe jump on the guy's name for the Chicago shooting, and I think people were probably just searching for that guy's name.
It happened to me. Like there was an anomaly. I got like 1,500 views. Like YouTube does something weird. It's some kind of weird.
But like after the 5.4, then it dropped down. Because people are like, oh, what's this next video that was like an hour later? Right?
Yeah, right. And
then
it had almost the same wording in the title. So
right.
There was something in that title that got into some kind of search.
He was trying to milk it.
He was.
And then
he was trying
41.
to milk it. Yeah.
And then
I think it's great because it's more to lose when it all goes away.
Even,
he's gonna cry more.
When he had his 1,800 subscribers, which is a lot of subscribers, but then like I'm sure some person. There were a couple of videos in there, and they were the less lethal videos that I actually have to say some of them were good. They were, if you were looking for that, and Dan mentioned it, if you're looking for a particular type of less lethal, and he explained it pretty well. And a couple of them got more than 1,000 views. And I'm sure the person who looked at them, like a lot of them clicked on there, and that's how he got his subscriber count up. But by the time he got into this whole thing with us, the views and the went back down to like Dan was getting more views on his videos than Wally was with 1,800 subscribers. So the correlation is really weird.
Oh, that was.
I mean, there was one that you put up,
so
Babu.
Much.
No, there was a one Babu put up with Wally with the kid. That creepy one that got a lot of views, right? Didn't that get like 1,000 views?
Did it?
People like to see car crashes, so it's like
I didn't know it got so many views. That's great.
Yeah, it's like it's a recipe for the perfect dish. Like you have this retard acting like a retard, and like it's just so creepy. And in his mind, he's filming, going, people are going to see a sensitive side to me and see how great I am with kids.
What the hell do you
Meanwhile,
think? I think it was a guy. Like, what do you think the father was thinking? Like, what?
I'm
the
sure
fuck
in
is
his
this
head
guy
he was just like,
doing?
"Oh my God, please just stop, please stop."
Yeah, it's kind of awkward, the whole thing. You know, maybe I.
Then he
I-
says with that sing-songy voice, he's like, "I have 2 kids just like that at home." That didn't age well.
you know, it would have been okay if he
Hi,
wasn't
kids.
videoing it. When you start videoing strangers' kids,
Strangers'
doing
kids,
stuff,
yeah.
that's kind of
Right,
like
right.
that's kind of a taboo. You know, that whole thing is taboo. That's a little
Especially
weird.
And
when
he's
you
looking
have
at the camera. Oh,
Yeah.
just thinking about it. Do
Especially
I
when you
have it? I think I
videos of
have it.
your own kids are at home, blatantly ignoring them, and then you're going to play with these strangers' kids in a doctor's office.
Yeah, he's in a doctor's office playing with other kids while he moves 6 states away from his own kids. Go figure.
Nothing weird to see there.
Yeah.
No, fine here.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, some guy with his kid.
And that's what you want people want.
That's so creepy.
He's got an earring.
I got 2 little ones just like you.
Yeah.
Oh, the kid
What was
voice.
with the,
That he had to sell for money at some point.
what was with the weird eyebrow?
How many
thing?
people do you think in this life have said, "Sir, can you please stop
Uh-oh.
filming"?
Yeah, like how does he know that
Yeah,
person?
like someone just like,
doesn't want
stop that, please.
That's
Please.
Like
sir.
in my office, in a doctor's office, if somebody is just like live streaming from my waiting room, I'd be like, "What are you doing? Shut your camera off or get out."
And also, like, it's a waiting room. Like, everyone in a waiting room has to be there. They don't want to be there. They're a captive audience, and it is a loser. Nice child you have there, sir.
Again, when he does that whole thing and he goes over to like this
Emotional damage.
to his friend's house and he starts recording in the bathroom about his friend that has a. Well,
He's whispering, I don't want them to hear that I'm live
Of
streaming
course,
from a bathroom,
because
guys.
you get, when you watch it, you get douche chills if you're a normal person.
Yeah, like how much of an intention? How much of an intention whore are you? That
I mean,
like,
yeah.
Well,
your
we know
friend
the
is-
answer to that.
Yeah, like your friend is legit. You know, I guess if he's not bullshitting, trying to kill himself, and you're taking it as an opportunity to get views. Like,
Yeah.
And then you hide the camera from Esteban and the guy and then surreptitiously record it and then put it up later for what? Yeah, he's a pederast. I didn't even know what that was. I had to look that up.
No one Google pederast.
you know,
Do not.
I've been so tempted to do that, but Dan put up a video saying, "Don't Google it. You don't want to know what it is," and because of that, I haven't.
It's just a very. It's like there's no. And Wally's thing, he's like, I'm not a pedophile or a pederast. It's like you don't. It's like saying I'm not a murderer, nor do I kill people. It's the same flavor of. It's a very specific type of. But anyway, don't Google it, anybody. It's terrible. But it was just like even his whole thing, it was just an irrelevant word to put in. But he likes putting in words in his rant, to fill it out. He's like when you have to write a report for high school and it has to be 1,000 words, so you start stringing out like the sentences. That's what Wally does.
But now he's now he what did he say? We're trying to hide our sins.
Yes.
Sins and crimes.
It's sins and crimes now. And what about
Hand of
in
God.
one of his
you're gonna
last
get.
videos? He did like a little prayer. He did a whole little prayer. He did a whole deaconate thing. He was
Oh
like,
yes, he did the Lord's Prayer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
weirdo.
yeah.
Like Wally-
Wait, did I miss that?
Oh, it was
I
great.
definitely
It was
missed that.
no. It was like at the end of something. I think.
I know
don't
he did the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh no, it was a Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden he was like, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Like what are you doing?
You know, who knew Wally was going to grow up into one of these old men who are like heavily religious and like, oh, sex is bad. You can't have sex or you're sinning. Like he totally became that guy.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah, but then he's
playing
showing
that
sex
guy.
toys that he bought. Like
Yeah, he's
that,
playing
Yeah.
that guy.
yeah.
He's not.
Yeah,
really.
you're
Our
right.
Lord Jesus Christ.
our
Fuck
Lord
you.
and Savior.
Well, just like
you know,
there was that one video where he said he's like, oh, this is the headband from the last time I fucked her in the back of my car, and I put it on my nightstand next to my Bible. Like those two things don't go together, Wally. Like Jesus isn't cool with like fucking girls in your car that you're not married to. Like that's not.
He took her to her favorite restaurant, Burrito Loco, right? Chimichangas. Chimichangas. Yeah, shrimp chimichanga. And then
Why do we know this, Wally?
I love
Why
when
do
he
we know
speaks
this?
Spanish and he puts the accent on it.
Yeah.
To show how fluent he is.
Shrimp
It's like when you go to a
chimichangas.
diner and you go, "I'll have the mozzarella sticks." Like, don't say that. Don't.
And then he
you know.
says shrimp chimichangas, and then he says something in Spanish like "hold the guacamole" or something like that in Spanish, and then he translates it for us. How great! Yeah,
He's fancy.
Yeah.
He's fancy.
No
Yeah.
bueno.
And then he
I'm
makes.
gonna jump off soon, guys. Sorry.
This
Yeah, we
was
see.
yeah.
We get it. You work hard and
No,
you're starting
it's
your own
fine, man.
practice.
There
we
it
get
is.
it.
I took it right off her head.
That's
Right,
Wally's cock ring.
The last time we made love.
Love in the car. Yeah.
Again, baby mom would love to know that
I'm
Wally's
sure
doing
she
that.
would.
She would really appreciate. Yes, I banged you. I think it was like like when you do the breakup and it's a big ugly drawn out thing, but then you have the one last. The one last
Exactly,
like
'cause
sympathy fuck.
Yeah,
That's what I think that was.
The other side is she does.
Yeah.
Like,
she has-
why else would they screw in the car? Because he couldn't go back to the house, right? So,
Right,
like,
right.
why? So, yeah. Wally, please, come on the live stream. Talk about the last time.
I remember when he was live streaming once outside of his what does he call it? His patio, and a car drove by or some girls walked by or something like that, and they looked back at him, and he's like, "I still got it. I still got it."
Did he do that? I missed that one.
Yep.
Fucking dick. Fucking
I
dick.
remember
Yeah, meanwhile, they were like, look at that creepy, weird
Yeah.
peacock loser
Guy
with
wearing
his,
a
like, whatever flags and shit he's got out.
His
His confusing
white
signs.
skin.
his
Stop
goofy
Marxist
soccer shirt.
communist hate. Like,
And
what
mind
they,
you,
they were
that's
like,
when
what
he
does
was
that
at-
mean?
That's when he was at his fattest too. So like they're seeing this pasty white guy with this giant belly, and he's like, "Yeah." I still
We
got
don't
it."
know that he's
Like,
not
come on.
fat now. We haven't seen him.
Well, he lost 5 pounds one time. Remember?
Yeah, it took
He's like,
2.5
oh,
years.
yeah,
to do
baby.
Shit.
And then probably gained back like 15.
I like it when he comes back, and I'm always curious to see the facial hair. Like whenever he shaves off, like his eyebrows seem to disappear when he shaves off his.
He looks
mustache.
terrible clean shaven. He looks so creepy and bad. He's a smooth baby man. Like just grow.
The guy doesn't do anything. He's completely sedentary his entire lifestyle. He doesn't walk anywhere. One time, like he said that he would go around the parking lot with one of those things and pick up dirty diapers and stuff. But I don't even think he does that
There was
anymore.
a week he must have been pumping iron because he was doing live streams and he was like, "Hey everybody, how's it going? The other day I went outside the other day, guys, and I picked up," like he was doing this, like, and then he even mentions he's like, "I've been working out, guys." Like he's like a fucking child. Like who does that?
I could see the definition on my arm. I was like, "Dude,
Yeah, there was like that during that period. He was working out for like a month, and he's like, "Hey guys."
I think he was saying he was
check it
losing
out.
weight and he was starting to feel ripped and stuff. And I'm like,
Oh, you don't think he was doing like push-ups or something?
Oh, I
he can't do a push-up. There's no way he could do a push-up.
His sarcoidosis and his spondylolisthesis and his erythema nodosum won't let him.
We were talking about it, like he's retired. He could like buy a bicycle. He could ride around Charlotte, beautiful
he
South.
That.
He could, like it's less. You can go on like Facebook Marketplace and it's like $10. Someone's
He's
giving away a
cornered
bicycle.
the market on pellets.
Yeah,
The guy owns more pellets than the factory made last year.
he could melt down his pellets and make a bicycle out of the metal.
Can you think like like his life is so like boring that he'll like get this black blanket, whip it out on his bed, and then line up like little soldiers his tins of pellets and his guns, and he's done that so many times
3
already.
words. 4 Freddy sweaters.
And this is the guy that's keeps telling us that who's literally praying for a civil war. That in his mind, he's thinking that like the Civil War and Boogaloo are going to come, and that will be his salvation because then there'll be no more laws in place, and he can throw his pop guns in the car, and he'll be able to get back and get his kids and get baby mama, and everything will be happy, and everything will be.
The other great part is he talks about all that money that he got that he clearly spent because something came up last week was like, oh, the unexpected
Got no
bill
money.
came my way.
It all went
He
away.
had no money. Like he's like, it sent me back a week for $100.
Hey guys,
I'm like,
have I ever told you how I'm clinically incapable of saving money?
yeah,
I have
so
the paperwork here somewhere.
you had all this money that was to get you out of this hole. You spent it on fucking Gina Carano dolls or whatever, and now
No
you
money.
got this. Yeah, now you have this thing that popped up, which in an adult world, that's why you save money, so that if things pop up, you have some kind of security blanket. But he didn't do any of that, so now he's like, now I can't do everything with my best friend now because I have to save money. Like, dude, you're a
And
child.
he has to look for the next like grift. He's like, oh, what thing can I exploit? What what thing could I sell in the apartment? Like imagine living like that you have to like figure out where the
Like,
next free handout is coming
that-
from.
that's like high
Expression
school.
paycheck to paycheck. He's not paycheck to paycheck because he don't get a paycheck. He gets a subsistence government check to subsistence government check. That's his
Well,
entire
I was
life.
talking to Slippery on the side when Wally made that video. He was like, I got $6,000. Trolls, are you jealous? He said, this'll get me through to June. So now we're at July, and now he's just like, no money. Like, so it went away.
Yeah, he figured he
you're
wouldn't
right,
have
got it through
he wouldn't
June,
have the
that's it.
rental expense for like 3 or 4 months. It covered him, or I don't know, a half a year it covered him or something.
Oh, he was talking
And-
about moving, and he's like, oh, this will get me through to June. Here we are. Oh, no, I got no money for fireworks.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I remember him saying he was going to get remember he said his friend was a realtor and he was going to get a better place in a better area
For less
and,
money.
for less money.
Magically.
In what universe does that work?
That's how it
I've never
works.
seen that work in the
And real
universe.
estate,
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that. Real estate agents, unless like the guy was going to give Wally whatever money he made, which isn't happening.
a van by the side of the river. Like, you think she's gonna get like a fucking friends and family discount on a house? Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, the real estate agent doesn't do anything to the price
Yeah.
unless they're going to give you their money. Fucking Wally. Wally, come on the live stream, buddy. Come on, get you and Kevin. We have room.
Yeah, we have room. I mean, yeah.
Or Keith or whatever his name is. I used to know his name. I wouldn't say it if I did, but Keith, come on.
I'm
in.
pretty sure it's Keith. But Wally probably can't live stream because he's probably got the microphone he uses shoved up Keith's ass. So
Well, who's the friend that visited last time? Like last summer?
Same guy.
Same guy.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
In fact, there's a video out there while Wally's live streaming in his bedroom because his friend is in the living room and the
Sleeping,
doors
yeah.
are cracked. The door's cracked, and you see the lights go on and off
right.
a bunch of
Try to
times.
tell him like that.
And that was the signal, but Wally missed it. And then the guy peeks in through the crack, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like he's trying to sleep, and Wally's being loud. And that was the signal to keep it down, but Wally missed it. I have that video somewhere. But his friend peeks in, he's like, "What the fuck?"
This might be a budding romance now, right? Didn't he say last time his friend was looking to leave New York, but then he made an excuse for it or something, and he was going to look around, but it was the coof, and he couldn't look around for an apartment, and then he went back. So I don't know. We got to find out more. We got to keep
Maybe
watching.
he just, like I said, I think he's trying to like suggest to Wally, like, oh, you have a 2-bedroom apartment? Oh,
Can I move in?
your kids are not going to stay with you? Oh, that's interesting. Like, I think he's trying to, like, hey, Wally, you want to be roomies, But I mean, I would watch that sitcom every day. Wally and the other guy just fighting with the shit.
Oh, Felix Unger and
Well, every
Oscar
day Wally would be
Madison.
like, I sacrificed my kid's room for you, and this is how you repay me. It would be like great. It would be like the.
I can't imagine anybody wanting to roomie with Walter. Like, it
I
would
can't
drive.
imagine anyone.
But
wanna
maybe they
visit
have to,
Walter.
like financially, because like I think they're both like hard up on cash, so shack
Why
up
would
together.
anyone want to even go voluntarily visit Walter? I mean, come on.
Well, there's
this person-
absolutely got to be something wrong with this guy if he knows.
So they can
Wally
shoot off
as good as he
fireworks,
does.
but he doesn't
Yeah,
have any
yeah.
money. Got no money for fireworks, so can't.
He's got enough BB guns. They could shoot BB guns together, and they can shoot their pellets together.
Yeah, but they're
and-
not really fun at night. You just shoot them into the night sky, and you can't even see where they go.
It just sounds like a gay guy fart.
But what Babu said before, and we talked about it earlier, like him and his buddy, they go to some remote overpass and look at these, like these fucking shitty
From
fireworks.
miles away.
Like, if you've been in New York and you've seen fireworks, the Macy's fireworks and fireworks everywhere. I was telling the HS at a Cyclones game, at Mets game, at Yankee Stadium. You're not going to see better fireworks than that anywhere. And he's
No,
put
no.
this on, and he's looking at this shitty fireworks from some
In the
fucking
free
remote
South.
overpass in the free South. And look
Do you
at
think
this.
his friend was like, I left New York for
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
He's sitting there.
Thanks. And I've been to places in Long Island where the little towns will do a little fireworks show and all that stuff, and it wasn't even that. He was miles away from wherever they were doing those fireworks that they looked so small. It was embarrassing that he was even I was like, why?
The
did he
trick
go
was you always
They
knew
do-
someone. You knew somebody who you can go to the roof of the building in Manhattan,
Exactly,
and then you
yeah,
see
yeah,
everything, and
yeah,
you'd be up there
right,
drinking, and
right.
that was like
Well, that's
you
what
do.
we did in my place. Yeah.
Yeah, you just find
You
someone
could go
with
up
a
on the roof, and then you could see all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's all we could see Jersey's fireworks.
Well, yeah,
Brooklyn,
that-
Staten
And
Island.
lots of
how it
times
worked
the
for us.
building
We-
staff, then you're not allowed on the roof, but the 4th of July they'll be like, yeah, you can go up there. Like they'll let it
that's
slide.
what we did. We went up to the 4th, and we watched the Macy's fireworks on the rooftops, and we were so much closer than wherever Wally was from whatever he was watching.
But they were on the side of a road on an overpass. I
Yeah,
mean, sometimes you go see fireworks at Jones Beach or wherever. You'll bring your chair, you'll sit down, maybe a cooler, you'll have a couple of pops, and you'll enjoy it. This
Again,
jerk
Wally was
standing there
like-
with his
Wally was like, Keith, this is great, and he puts his hand on his knee,
yeah.
and Keith looks at his knee,
Yeah.
and their eyes meet.
He probably said,
But Kevin
Keith,
looks away, and
Wally
he
back
probably said to
mountain.
Keith, it's that time in our lives where
I
Do you
can't
love-
quit you.
do you
Where-
love fireworks like I love?
have you had your prostate exam yet? And I'm versed on
I
it.
can check you. It's totally not gay.
It's totally professional. And
I have lube left over from the rubber pussy episode. Oh, he's got the lube from when he lubed up the traffic cones.
See, this is
When he
where
went,
he'll tell
hee
his
not
friends-
gay, he's got that.
Then it's
This
got
is where he
chili
tells
flakes
people
in it.
oh, look how mean they are. They're making fun of my friend now. And makes you
Yeah,
go back
he's gonna be like, he has cancer, and they talk about it. It's like, how do we know he has cancer?
Yeah,
idiot?
exactly.
Yeah, right.
Like focus on that, idiot.
Well, I remember he did that once where he's like, oh, yeah, my friend's going through something, and I don't want to say what it was. And I think later in that same video, he said what it was.
3 minutes later. Yes, my friend's got ball cancer. It's
I
terrible.
can't tell you what's wrong with him.
How many times have you heard where he starts talking about it when he had he wanted those no contact orders that he played with for me and Dan, and he's has them, and he's like, I can't really say much about it because it's a legal matter now. And it never comes to any fruition. It's always a disappointment. Wally's whole life is a disappointment. Everything he does, he fails at. He has never succeeded in anything except getting himself a government check. That's his biggest success. And I love when he talks about.
And you can thank the Democrats for that because those are the seriously. I'm not even
Yeah,
joking.
no,
Those
you're
are-
right. You're
Those
right.
are the politicians he reached out to.
Yeah.
to help him
While
out.
he's always
Right,
rooting
right.
for the wrong side. He's always
Right,
like,
right. He's always proud, like he shows himself with Joe Crowley, who was the predecessor of AOC, who he wants to dismember. You know what I mean? It's really strange.
yeah, and his boy John Field was palling around with Chuck Schumer and comedian Jon Stewart. But
Yeah,
they're
right,
they're
right.
Democratic, like they were like the reason why he gets money. But fuck those guys. He's always rooting for the wrong team for himself. He's such an idiot.
And it says, when he says, when we say he's a fraud and stolen valor, yeah, well, you are a fraud and you're stolen valor because you represented yourself as a first responder, and you're not a first responder. You never will be. And John Field said it, and Dan has the evidence.
And
he
the
has
news
the
reporter
receipt.
says it
He stopped
twice.
fighting that. He stopped fighting that claim. He
No,
gave
he's
up
still
on
at it. He's still at it. He said
Really?
it recently.
I haven't heard
yeah.
him defend his whole first responder thing.
There was one video where he goes, there was the one we were making fun of where he was crying, and he goes, and then I was a first responder, but then I'm not a first responder. I don't even know anymore. Like, I wanted to isolate that clip for a video. It's like,
It's all
what do you mean you
synonymous,
don't
man.
know anymore?
All synonymous.
I don't know anymore. Like, what?
All right, I got to jump off, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah, same here. I'm
All
about to
right,
hit up the bar, guys.
All right,
have a
we'll
good
probably
one,
wrap
man.
it up. 3 hours in.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out too. I think. Yeah, it was another fun one as always.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll
absolutely.
see. We'll see how long it lasts. I'll download it because it'll probably go away. I'll be like Wally. It's like I've saved it on my hard drive.
Yeah.
And on my second hard drive,
Right.
and I put
On
it in
archive.
the cloud. Yeah, like he's bragging about how many times he's saved the document.
It is funny that he brags and goes, "I learned after losing my two channels to back up." Like really, it took you two channels to
I've
learn
lost
that?
73 terabytes of information, but I've learned.
Well, how did this idiot, just before I jump off, what does he do? So he make a video and then he'd like upload it to YouTube, but didn't have the original copy to
Yeah,
begin with?
Yeah, that's what he was suggesting. Yes.
Yeah, how? Yeah, right. How?
And now he's putting it on archive.org, which is
Yeah.
like where you put like, you know, works of literature so they don't like disappear from the planet. And while he's like, "Oh, my content needs to be saved for humanity's sake."
I gotta
like,
go there and I
okay.
gotta flag that channel.
I went there. I did. I made an account, and I even left a comment on one of his archive videos, the one with my face on it. I'm like, hey, I can't wait to take down this channel. So I'm waiting for him to see that. So he goes, look, they followed me to the channel that I
you have
totally
to make an
announced.
account.
Yeah. Before
Sure.
we go, he did say he's on 2 social media platforms. I don't know which one they are. I'm assuming it's got to be
I would imagine
Facebook under a
Truth
different
Social
name.
is probably one of them.
It's MeWe is one.
He's got to be.
And
on Truth
I
Social.
was actually thinking about that because he said he's on some new thing, and then he got a lot of views, and I'm like, oh, is this the new social media platform that's giving him the views? But I still think it's an anomaly from YouTube.
Well, it's got to be Truth Social. I would guess, right? I mean,
Truth Social.
It's Trump's thing.
Oh, is that Trump's thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for a fact. I'd have
if
to.
you're
Well, no,
him
because I
and
think
you
that's
have,
only for I think that's only for iOS, and I think he has an Android.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
that's right. Yeah, it's like one platform only. I think they may
Yeah.
have fixed that though. Who knows? Somebody out there set up a Trump social media account and let us know what's going on.
I
but
don't wanna
if
be
you're
linked to that.
Wally and you have nothing to do all day, absolutely zero to do all day, you can be on thousands of social media things. I mean, he has zero to do, nothing
That's
to do.
true.
The highlight is the Walmart run for supplies.
Yeah, and that can only take a few hours, right?
Yeah, and he doesn't even go to the closest one because he wants to make a social event out of it. I think because he probably talks to anybody who he passes in the aisles. You know, like oh,
God, it's so creepy. Why would you do
it's like
that?
he's constipated, right? He's like
Well, he is full of
Yeah,
shit.
let's play that video one more time before we go.
yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. That will be a nice ending. You know,
Yeah,
like,
take
wait,
us
wait.
out, Dan.
I think I removed it from the. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Babu, ask you can. Okay, I have a little Babu folder, and I have it saved up on my hard drive and my external hard drive. So
In case you lose your two
Here it
channels.
is.
Oh,
it's so cringe.
That's a sick fuck right
I
there.
got 2 little ones just like you.
Oh, the kitty voice.
sounds like a munchkin. Hey, welcome to Munchkin Land.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
it's like so cringe.
Yeah, look at his face. Yeah, what an asshole. All right, guys, I will see you next week for doing this.
All
again.
right, guys, have a good
Got
one.
it,
I'll see you
Babu.
too. All right,
All right,
take
later,
care,
bro.
Dan.
All right,
Peace
th-
out.
th- oh,
Take care, guys.
that's my archive message to Wally.
That's great.
So can anyone
Absolutely.
see his stuff without an account, or I got to go sign up for that shit now?
It's just like a place to store it's like it's just a place to store information. And while he's wasting terabytes with his,
Joining the Wally fan club is like joining the mafia. You can't get out of it.
Seriously, dude, now I got to come up with another fucking username, Wally Sexball 69, and another password, Wally can eat
All right,
my ass.
guys, be good. Take care.
All right.
I'm out.
Later, guys.
All
Good
right,
night.
guys, see you. Bye. I'll probably wrap it up too. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. I gotta go. My kid's with me. He's probably set himself on fire up there. I don't know. I should probably check on him.
Just flashing
And
over
yes,
live.
everyone check out Hidden's Full Letter Friday. Oh,
I'm
is
off
that
my-
your
I'm out of
original
jail.
channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the old show's coming back.
Does that mean the strike kind of went away?
It goes away this Friday.
Okay, boom, there you go. Can't wait to play videos. Can't wait to play videos on your channel. Oh, I'm sorry. You resized it and then I unsized it.
Well, I can resize it some more.
There we go. Yeah, everybody go there tomorrow. It's always a fun time. I always come on when Sifu falls asleep though, which is
Babu
like
always
sad.
comes on right before that.
Because I like to. What was that? Who comes on?
Babu.
Yeah, I always seem to miss him. I come on and
It's like the pokeroo.
with my kid, I think I passed out, and then I lost power. Like I think I was on your thing, and all of a sudden my house just went black.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? And I think I didn't have power for like a few hours. I remember it was like a thing. Anyway, yeah, I'm wrapping it up. Let me see. Will I be on tomorrow? Well, I'll probably pop in to 4-letter Friday.
Well, that's on Friday.
Oh wait, what's today? Oh, I'm thinking today's Thursday. Shit, everyone. Friday is when Hidden does his thing.
Yeah, that's why I named it Friday.
yeah. I named my Thursday, but then I was on Wednesday and confused everybody, and it was a whole thing. Anyway.
Yeah, I switched channels. But yeah, she's back this Friday, so we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah. All right, I'm calling it 3:05.
Yay.
All right. I'm
Bye,
kicking
everyone.
you off. All right. See you later, Hidden. Bye. Okay. It's just me. Thanks again for everybody. And yeah, I have a new video. I'm kind of sort of working on it. Just an old school me in the car. But again, video editing sucks. And I always have something in mind, and I'm like, oh, this is what I'll do. I have it all planned out. And then Maga Man will make 14 other videos, and then my original idea will go out the window, and it's back to the drawing board. It's hard to keep up with the guy, but I have some ideas. I actually sit down and I write a script. That's right. We're writing scripts. That's where we at now. I hope you jerks appreciate it. That's why it's hard to do. But yeah, so I'm working on it, and maybe I don't know when I'm going to do it. I have my kid with me. Normally my kid doesn't stay with me, but I got him for like a 2-week stretch. Just like Maga Man's secret friend, I got my kid with me, I think through the 17th or something. I don't know why I'm saying this. You guys don't need to know. But anyway, my kid's with me, so it's hard to find time to go into the car and film myself ranting because Max is there, and it's I can't like leave him at home and do that. And I could make the video late at night after I put him to bed, but that's a whole other thing. So, but anyway, the video's coming, and thanks for everyone for joining. And of course, I'll let you know when that video comes out. I'll probably end up doing a Dogpile or two. It really depends on Wally. If he does anything spectacular with Dogpile. If not, maybe I'll skip a week. And so that's it. That's the show. And I got to figure out how to get out of here. Oh, maybe I'll let Wally. I'll let my favorite outro. I'll let Wally play us out. I gotta unprofessional here. I gotta find the video. There you go. I love this outro. So here you go, guys.
This video ends now.
Bye.